Who the heck is Pep Talks?
I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. Pep Talks. Pep Talks.
Who the heck is Pep Talk?
They want our women. They want our children.
Pep Talk.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the
Pep Talk.
Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
Pep Talk.
I'm literally coming. I'm
Pep
literally coming.
Pep Talks.
We found weapons of mass
Pep Talk.
destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from Pep Talks that we are indeed all high on politics.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to High on Politics. We have a Tuesday edition in the house right now. That's because it's a Tuesday. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh, man, that little hour and some change that I had between my streams here, because if you guys do not know, I am also on a little thing called This Space, where we do like a little workers collaborative, I guess is the best way to put it, where we're all working class streamers and we all stream on the same platform, and it's kind of we keep it running all day like a open channel, and we just have a lot of good collaboration there, I have to say. Different types of shows too. It's really cool. So if you guys can do me the solid, check out This Space. Also, hit the like button on your way in, double tap that screen, and hit the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that. I know that we on YouTube tend to do that, and trust me, as somebody that used to either fast forward or, back out anytime that I heard somebody start doing that kind of, stuff, I just have to say, I feel bad for that. You know what? I really do. Because, God, it is, once you know the game, it's a different story. So now I kind of understand why they do it. So if you guys can help out, hey, what up, Steven? How's it going? X, I've never seen you before, but happy Tamil New Year. Hey, happy New Year, man. I'm happy that you guys are getting to celebrate something. Go Steelers. Sure, I guess. Ew. I don't know why. Pittsburgh Steelers. I think maybe it's like your logo sucks or something, but I've never been able to just get behind the Steelers there. Like I don't dislike them. They're not like a rival team by any means, but I'm just not. I don't care. I don't care about the Steelers at all. Go Bears. Stop Bears. Stop Bears. Stop Bears. But yeah, you know what time it's not? Football time. It is. We are actually going into playoff time. With some hockey coming up. Hopefully the Blackhawks might be able to squeak it out. We'll see. I don't think they're going to. I actually have not been paying attention to any of it. I'm not even sure if they're out of contention, to be completely real. I'm just like, maybe, just maybe. Have not had time for hockey this season at all, and this is the first time that I think that I have not had the ability to watch the Blackhawks in at least 20-something years. They're out. Crap. Well, never mind. I guess it's just another year for the Blackhawks. Oh, God, it really is the Wirtz era. As the Blues. As are the Blues? Wait, are the Blues out? Really? Okay, well then, I'm happy about that. Preparing to take over. Oh, yes. Well, Dixon Pizza. You're going to take over the U.S. with some Dixon Pizza, I guess. What's up, man? Good to see you. Fridge Makara. I can't wait for China's masterful counter move. Third blockade. Yeah, dude, this blockade situation is wild. It's wild, but you know what? We're the ones that are going to have to deal with it because we're the ones seeing the increased prices and just, I don't know, the stock market kind of rebounded today and oil futures kind of dipped. So there might be a deal. And you know what's actually kind of funny? The fact that there isn't a bunch of just news about this, and I do think that there might be a deal, and I think that they're hammering it out and somehow leaking it out. But who knows? Who knows? It's the Trump administration, dude. Like they just do so much fuckery when it comes to just blatant corruption. Like it's insane. It really is crazy. Like just how they have absolutely no worry. And then you got Trump out there just saying, you know what? It's fine. Well, I'll blanket pardon you all. Once it comes time, you guys will get your pardon. We really need to do something about the presidential powers. We do. It's insane. So here's the thing. Even if it doesn't affect Trump himself, we do need to kneecap the shit out of, I don't care who it is at this point. I don't care if it's a Republican president. I don't care if it's a Democratic president. The fact of the matter remains. We have got to do something about this because I just do not understand how the Supreme Court thought that was a good idea, but boo bears, go Pats. Ew. Dr. Jesus. No. I'm Dr. Ganj. Oh, man, I just realized that our buddy from Hawaii hasn't been here in quite some time. So, yeah, we got a chatter that's from Hawaii that loves to, he loves to say smoke 'em up kind of thing. And, yeah, Dr. Ganj. I remember saying that, and then all of a sudden, he's just like, hey, look at that. It's Dr. Ganj. Dr. Ganj. I can't say it without having like a little theme song, so just so you guys know. How long it has the presidential pardon existed, I don't even know. You know what? Let's see. That's an easy enough question. Let's see. How long presidential pardon existed? 1787. George Washington first used the power in 1795 to grant amnesty to those involved in the Whiskey Rebellion. Interesting. It was derived from English common law. Well, I think that most of our stuff pretty much is. I mean, didn't we even wear like the stupid wigs for a while there? Like I thought we had like that whole like pomp and circumstance, and then we just kind of slowly but surely got rid of it. Yeah, I think we did. Because now I think about it, like you see all those like old pictures from like old timey judges, and they had the wig. At some point, I think it was like the 1920s or something that they like got rid of. Here, next question. Let's see. When did judges get rid of the wigs in America? When did judges stop wearing wigs in the U.S.? 19th century. There was a huge shift in the early 1800s. Wow, actually, I was wrong. Oh, I guess it wasn't that long. Okay, so that kind of makes sense because think about it. Like the Revolutionary War, about 20 to 30 years separated from that. Well, 76, 30 years. Yeah, early 1800s. Yeah, I could see it. Because, like, think about it. If you got a bunch of, like, these people reminding you of what you left and, like, how you guys are still kind of tied to their law system, even using that common law system, it does kind of like make more sense to just be like, you know what, the robes, fine, the gavel, fine, the wigs, stupid. Is this the wait, Bob? Oh, Bob, you're back. It's Bob's back, guys. Guys. I'm not sure if you're hanging in horizontal chat. Bob's back. What's up, Bob? I'm not sure if you know this, but your little segment there has now become part of my lore. We call it Pep lore. And yeah, dude. I'm not sure if it's for the reason that you would want, but yeah, dude. I don't know. How'd it feel getting cooked? Like, dude. Terre Haute, but yeah, Terre Haute Bob. You just stop with the Bob Seger thing. You're not Bob Seger. You're Terre Haute Bob. Like, you should really change your name. At this point, you have been dubbed Terre Haute Bob. We need to give Trump more power. Biden was the most corrupt president in history. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Wait a minute. This isn't like, you're not like the Bob from fucking that one show that the kids that totally give their parents way too much rope to I'm not even going to say the other part of that, but you know what I mean. They get caught up in their own rope. That's how I'll say it. Seriously though, like, what the fuck makes you think that? Like, dude, Biden was a milquetoast motherfucker. He did things that were so milquetoasty that, like, how do you even equate it to corruption? Most corrupt in history? Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're actually kind of genuinely stupid. Like, Bob, I already knew you were stupid the way that I cooked you and, like, proved your own gas prices again. Like, I used your own gas prices against you. But Bob, I have to say, that's a special one. Like, you came in here, you're just like, you know what? Maybe I didn't prove myself stupid enough in the last go around. I'm gonna go back to this here pep talks fella, and I'm gonna make sure that he knows just how stupid I truly am. I don't see Bob in horizontal. You're not going to, because the horizontal and the vertical chats do not mesh. Honestly, guys, I really have been toying with just dipping on the horizontal stream. It doesn't do much for me. The VODs don't really have any traction. Honestly, I get 100 some odd viewers. Like, I get my regular viewers on there, which is fine, but it splits the stream. So it's also splitting engagement from one of the streams. So I think that starting on Monday, it's going to be horizontal. It's still going to be around on Twitch. And then we can do vertical on YouTube. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense to be splitting the audience like this. And then I get stuff like that where it's just like, I don't see Bob. I don't do this, blah, blah, blah. I only like it because I can close the screen while I'm at work. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that you can. That's right. That's one of the drawbacks. Well, can't you do that with the vertical too? I don't know. I feel like you could, though. Does the shorts feed kind of like limit that? You know what? I have never actually tried. Here, let's see. Let's try this in real. Man, we're doing an experimental show today. We're getting asked questions in real time and answering in real time, and then we're going to ask this question. Check out the live. Here we go. Here's the live. Whoa, that's my voice. I don't like hearing that. Okay. And then, no, I can totally put this in the background. Wait, can I? Yeah, you can totally put it in the background. What are you talking about? Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it, except for the fact that, yes, I have actually put some thought into this. Because, again, right now, I'm sitting with 6 concurrent viewers and the other thing is I can only have YouTube Studio open for one stream, and it always prioritizes my horizontal, and I'm kind of over it, guys. I really am. Because this is where I'm seeing the growth. So I don't know what to tell you. Also, it does kind of, I noticed that my Twitch was gaining more traction because I had some of y'all that wanted to go watch the horizontal, and that's where you guys had to do that. No, you can't close your phone and play vertical in the background. How come I'm doing it right now? Here we go. Hey, I'm talking to myself. Wow, that delay is pretty bad. I'm talking to myself. All right, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it because of YouTube Premium or something like that? Is that the reason I can do that? I can't for whatever reason. I have YouTube Premium too. I don't know then. Do you not have an iPhone? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's iPhone exclusive. What up, Fred? How's it going? But this is also part of the problem, is I now have 3 active chats open, and for some reason, my chat likes to skip over a whole bunch of them. So logistically, guys, this sucks. I kind of wish I had the traction. Like, let's put it this way. If I had the traction that I did from the shorts feed with everybody coming on to the vertical stream, I wouldn't have this problem at all. Actually, you know what would be really fucking nice? If YouTube could figure out this thing where I can dual input the way that I am with my OBS, but if you turn your screen, then you get the full screen. But then if you turn it back, it gives you the whatever. I think YouTube is having server issues lately. It is. The thing is, I got made aware of that from YouTube themselves, which this isn't, I'm not breaking any TOS here. Like, they sent out an email just saying that the servers have been overfilled, and that they're starting to roll out a new, and I think that this is what happened to me. They started rolling out something where you had to prioritize one, because I wasn't able to go live with both for, multiple days. So Or better yet, you could go work for YouTube and change everything yourself. That's not how that works. You ever tried to get a job at somewhere like that with just what I'm doing? The fuck? Yeah, go get a job at YouTube when you're a content creator. Like, you do understand, like, I don't care if you want to make fun of, like, me doing this, but I actually make money doing this. Like, I am a professional YouTuber, despite what anybody here thinks. No, I'm doing more than most YouTubers do. Most YouTubers are scared to talk about this shit. I don't get it. Like, I've read the TOS. I know exactly what I can and can't talk about. I can't talk about, like, the ins and outs of everything, but I can at least give you a little behind the scenes on the stuff that's kind of just out there. Like, anything that's essentially posted onto Twitch or onto Twitter, I can tell you. And this was posted on Twitter. So, if you have a degree, I don't have an IT degree. I don't have a fucking degree. I didn't even graduate high school, motherfucker. I am a fucking entertainer. I'm a fucking comedian that likes to talk about politics, and I can gain an audience, but thank you, you are bewitched. The thing is, I'm also in a little bit of a pissy mood, just in general, because I hate people like that. I hate people with your stupid fucking advice. Get fucked. Sorry. Why don't you go work at YouTube? Why don't you have an IT degree? Why aren't you changing things? Sorry, that was rude. That really was rude. You sound like I don't know. You sound like nothing but a loser. Oh, cool. Well, I guess I am then. I don't know. What do you offer besides just something? Well, I don't even know what you're doing here. I'm not here crying about YouTube doing what YouTube should be doing. Yes, I'm crying. I'm so sad. I'm so sad that YouTube just, I don't know, can't make sense. No, I get to have 2 streams open. I mean, if you're not listening, but if you have all the answers, then go work for YouTube. It's literally just a suggestion on what they can do to make things a little bit better for us. But I don't actually know the logistics, and I'll just admit, I don't know the logistics and why they do this. I don't understand why they separate it the way they do. I don't understand how this works either, where I get put into like the shorts feed, but I am a long ass show. Like I do about 6 to 8 hours, so I don't know, whatever. But I just tried to close vertical and it doesn't work for me, and I'm on Android, so I think it might. Yeah, I think it's just a. Yeah, that must be a Android thing. Huh? Interesting. Just walk in with your resume and best handshake, and you'll get the job if you believe in your heart of hearts. Yep. No, I mean. Yep. That's how it is. That's how every boomer has told me that it works. That you could just go get a job by asking. Like, dude, have you had somebody tell you that recently too? So I had a friend that was looking for a job, right? And without missing a beat, my fucking dad starts going on about that. Like, did you show up? Did you did you put in, did you make yourself like seen? That's what you need to do. Meanwhile, we're trying to explain like how this like modern job market works, where if you don't have a LinkedIn, then you're essentially just not going to be found and you're not going to get a job. So, you can get a job by putting in effort. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. What I do put effort into, believe it or not, the show. So, yeah, but do you like wieners? I mean, are you talking hot dogs or are you talking dick? I mean, I like some hot dogs. Not a big fan of dick. But I don't hate anybody that does think dick is tasty. If it's for you, it's for you. All right. You do you. You can only get a job if you exert an insane amount of effort, and that's not a guarantee. Dude, jobs are like, seriously. This is one of those assholes that's also probably like, I've worked for the same corporation for 30 plus years, and I've never missed a day of work. And then, sure as shit, Like they get sick and they're gonna get fired, and then they're just gonna be like, oh, there's no loyalty. It's just like, yep, that's how that works there, buddy. That's not true at all. I worked as an electrician for 2 years with the LinkedIn and made more money than I ever had than I ever thought I was going to. Ah, cool. Good for you. Honestly, good for you. I'm happy for you. Job market is cooked right now. An electrician. If you have work experience and keep each job you have experience at these jobs, you can build a good resume. Yes, but that doesn't matter, dude. Because I don't want to go work. You understand that I don't want to curate YouTube? That's not what I want to do. I want to do this. And I actually am like making my way in doing this. So I'm going to just say it. I'm at like the worst part of being a content creator. I really am. Where I'm right at the precipice of breaking through as like a full-time creator. And, I only need, that's what really sucks is I need like 300 fucking more subs to get there. So yeah, it is dude, it sucks. Like that's the one thing is it's not for everybody. I can tell you right now, if you got a full-time and you want to do this and you started as a hobby and then you try to make it full-time, I can understand why only a certain amount of people even kind of start breaking through. But you're better off working at Walmart. I have a second gig, you dumbass. I'm one of those ones. I'm one of the hobbyists, but I'm almost there to make enough. You understand that you're kind of you're missing the mark here because you're trying to make me feel bad, but you're just kind of reminding me that I'm like, oh no, actually, like, I'm one of the fucking lucky ones. I'm one of the doing this. Like I'm one of the ones getting to do this and make money and actually get revenue. Like, yeah. Why do idiots assume that the person doesn't have a job? Because they're dumb. That's realistically what it is. They're dumb. He's a dumbass. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. He's coming in here being condescending. Usually to be this like level of condescending, you also have to be like a certain level of retarded. Because realistically, the most confident people I know are retards. And I'm just being fucking as nice as possible, but they're the dumbest fucking people I know. Yes, that was by choice. That was like, I was done. What's the point? I wasn't going to college, dude. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. That's what I went and did. To a degree. To a degree. Was I successful? No. Did I gain that experience? Yeah. Also, you know what's funny? I didn't even have anybody check. Because I went to a fucking community college program for TV and radio. I did a, communications course. I did the 2 semesters. You're a sit-down comedian. Yeah, actually I am. And I like this a little bit better. Yes, it doesn't have the instant gratification as much as far as like just hearing the laughter, but yeah, no, this is fun. I love doing this. Oh, you're talking about Pep, even so, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. That's okay. Sylvie's just like, oh, wait a minute. I mean, no, my biggest thing here is like, what's your fucking problem? Like, what's your deal? Why are you coming in here just kind of being a prick? It's not like you said, hello, what kind of show is this? You just came in here just being an asshole. It's almost like you're insecure that somebody is doing something that they enjoy with an audience behind them. Whether it be, a large audience or not, I don't give a shit. Dude, if I had one person in here, I would still be fucking doing this, and I'd still be doing it with just as much gusto as I do every day. Every day, bro, why do you think that you're better than everyone and have all the answers? You're just assuming things and being a dick. Yep. Like I said, and he's probably he is probably stupid. Like, there's a reason that he's an electrician. It's probably the only job that he could have done. He doesn't have a creative bone in his body. He doesn't understand how to do anything like this. He probably thinks that he's one of these guys that doesn't like a single video. He's never contributed to a YouTube creator because he thinks that YouTube entitles him to this creation. Yeah, 0 special powers. Nah, I mean, dude, literally. Oh my God, you're in a trade that anybody could literally do. Okay. Bro, you're in his stream commenting. You're not doing, I mean, realistically, that is kind of the fact. Like, this guy is spending his time in here trying to prove how cool he is. Oh, we're scumbags? Oh, now you're saying that everybody in here is a scumbag. Cool, 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 cool. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not doing anything different. Yeah. I am different. I'm what's different, motherfucker. Yes. Do I talk about, the news, politics of the day? Yeah. You know, does the Daily Show probably do this a little bit better with some structure? That's debatable. I think that those shows suck. I like watching, I personally, when I started finding like streaming, I was kind of like, all right, I kind of get it. Certain guys out there. Here you go. Watching his son get as big as he did, that was one of the things where I was just like, oh shit, damn, I think I could do that because I happened like this is where my confidence will at least show through. I know I'm funnier than his son, and I know that I actually have like I'm not sure if it's my manners, but I have like better structure than he does. Like my show is structured better than his, plain and simple. I do believe that. I don't leave when I leave my chair. I literally have a fucking timer going on where I'm just like, if I hit that 90 seconds, then then I know I done fucked up. I don't think I've ever done that though. But some nobody sit down comedian trying to roast essential workers. Essential. Dude, you can literally be dust tomorrow and there's somebody that's going to be there to take your job. Like, that's how this works. Now, in this case, no, that's not how it works, Although, maybe they're training the AI and you guys will be surprised. Like, if I pass from this mortal coil, you guys might have a digital AI pep talks. Like, wouldn't that be fucking weird? I mean, Lord knows I've done enough content. I'm not good at streaming, but when I do stream, magic seems to happen. Been a while. My stream basically died with Windows 10. That sucks, Ghost Dog. That really sucks. Yeah, RIP Windows 10, man. God, when I first started this, it was like seamless. I don't know why. All of a sudden, with the advent of Windows 11, everything fucked. Like everything got fucked. My OBS got fucked. My connection to YouTube got fucked. My connection to Twitch got fucked. Like everything. Are you an AI right now? I don't know. Is this real? Am I real? I don't know. Oh God, your job doesn't make you worth more as a person. No, they think it does. No, because it's all he has. It's the only thing he has as an identity, and that's where I'm like, I kind of feel bad about that because, like, I knew comics that were electricians, and I knew some of that were day traders. But the thing that I will say that all of us had in common was that none of them would identify themselves as an electrician. They would say that they're a comedian because that's what they truly knew they like, or that's what they wanted to be. What you did was you found your job. You realized that look, I made a little bit of money here. Cool. Comfort. And then you realize that you also have nothing else to offer the world as far as, you can't make anybody laugh. You can't make anybody cry. You can't really do much, can you? Except for just, I don't know, figure out which wires go to what with your numb ass hands. I'm assuming that you got numb hands. Most of y'all do. That's because they're scumbag losers. Is that all you got? Like you've said it twice now. Someone feels bad. I don't know, guys. And the funny part is this guy, like, wait, is this Bob? Bob, did you switch your name? Hey, Sparky, move along and go to another stream. All right. I was born an artist and I will die an artist. I am what I am and I am what I'll be. Get some spinach in there. Artists are usually broke ass drug addicts. Oh, that's fun. Because I would call my wife an artist, and she ain't no fucking broke ass drug addict. She gets to make a lot of money. Well, not now. But did he leave? No, not yet. But honestly, whatever. Apologies to anybody in the trades. Just want you to know that I'm specifically talking about how useless this guy is, not you. I am my paintings, Van Gogh. Well, I mean, at least they had more meaning, in their lives. I would honestly argue that, you know. Well, if you depends on what you define as meaning, but like I said, this guy wants to come in here ripping on me. You literally just shat on the trades. Yeah, your trade. I'm shitting on you because you're a bad tradesman. No, you're propping yourself up above everyone else. No one's trashing on trades. No. Electricians are literally the most essential workers in construction. Yeah. And that's why, again, you're just one of the many. Like I said, you can pass from this mortal coil and no one would probably know the difference. Whatever shitty housing development you're putting up and probably doing a piss poor job because I have seen that new construction tends to have major electrical issues. Wondering if you're behind any of them, but whatever. Yeah, sitting on your pseudo bravado shocktrition. This guy is just trying to feel better about himself by draining you and the room's emotional energy. Yeah, I know. And I had that yesterday, obviously. But also, fuck him. He's here. Yeah, because of all your construction experience, right? Don't need it to know when I don't need construction experience to know when a shitty job's a shitty job. But I also happen to know when you see some, bad electric. I have, when I got this house, there's some bad electric. Had to take care of some of that. And here's the thing: I'm not even a certified electrician. Somehow figured that one out. But yeah, like I said, of what a shitty job on a sub panel. Hey, what do you know about sub panels? Top viewers, that's Stream Boo. Ew. Dude, what is it about Twitch? What is it about Twitch? Does this happen? Like, guys, do you see that on every other, like, Twitch streamer? Is that just, like, something that I need to, like, put, like, a block or a blanket ban on? I tried to do that, where I'm just like, nah, I don't want any of that fucking traffic in here. But whatever. Looks to me it's making a lot of effort to me. I mean, the guy's still here trying to, again, I don't even know what he's doing outside of what Pinkerbell was saying, where he's just trying to drain us. But I can also do this thing where I can just ignore him. So oh, somebody trying to prove their worth in a chat with only 12 people in it. Oh, buddy. I think that you're not feeling very good about yourself. You might need therapy. Let us get targeted with this shit, and then we all go and refuse to ban them. Huh? Yeah, well, there are certain things where I'm kind of just, some homosexual with stuffed animals in his room talking about men work. Yeah, sure. Bewitched needs a hug. Yeah, I think he does. Don't hug, but if you're a man, he's homophobic, guys. He doesn't hug other men. He only stares at them longingly and thinks about what's in trans people's pants. Oh yeah. Trust me, we know what this guy does. Pep, dude, you're letting your anger of the past few weeks bleed through or something. Well, it's almost like I've been going through a whole lot of shit and just in general, kind of sick of everybody's shit, including yours, Steven. I mean, I'm not mad about yesterday, but yeah, I will just say this one where it's just like, no, dude, I think that you also, you still got some problems in your corner there where you take shit way too seriously and you just don't know how to fucking, cope with it. But let's get back into that. Shitting on you isn't shitting on a trade, dumbass. That's the thing that he doesn't understand. But like I said, buddy, anybody can do your fucking job. I could do your job, literally. It's fucking easy as shit. But you know what else I can do? Because you are actually kind of annoying me. Sit down. Now, here's the thing. I don't ban people. I have you have to do something pretty egregious to get banned. But you start doing that shit where you want to derail my stream, and also just like, he kept repeating himself, where it's just like, dude, okay, we get it. You think that you're special. We know that you don't like hearing that you're just one of the guys. You're literally just part of the mold. Nobody gives a shit about you. That's why he comes to YouTube and has to go on to some other creators, other creator, insinuating like he's a creator. Sparky went bye-bye. We'll see if he comes back. Okay, washing dishes now. I'll just listen. Go. Sparky. I mean, that's fun. Like I said, one thing I want to preface is that was not shitting on the trades. If you guys are in trades, I actually do recommend going into trades because, yeah, they usually do end up paying a little bit better. It depends on, if you feel so forced into it. But yes, trades are essential. I was going to say that electricians are essential. He isn't. There's a difference, but essential to the stream. Yeah, sure. Nah, this is kind of like, dude, they did this with the fucking stand-up shit too. It's just your average hecklers when you start saying some shit that, number one, they think everything is like Facebook broke these people's brains where they hear something that they're just like, I don't like what this guy's saying. I'm gonna go tell him how much I don't like what he's saying. Hit a macho man Randy Savage line. Cream of the crop always rises to the top. Yeah, I'll go for the basics. Alrighty. Anyway, we need more young people in aerospace tool trade. Yes. I actually, dude, I do have I think I mentioned him when we were watching the space capsule thing, where I just was mentioning how, dude, I think just turned 40, and he has a patent on a part that is in every single 747. That's crazy, man. Like, you want to talk about actually, like, I kind of told him, like, man, you kind of did, like, you did everything you need to do. You have, like, a legacy part. And he's just like, but I must keep working. I'm like, oh. You think Sparky has sand in his vagina? Oh, what is he, like wait a minute. He's a Pokemon. Oh, dude, that's what we were dealing with in Angry Pikachu. He wasn't an electrician. He was an electric type. And then he got hit by a sand type. Oh, it makes sense. And then, electric's not really that effective against sand types. Makes sense. It makes sense. Anyway. I was talking about something before that douchebag came in here, specifically about how I am going to start prioritizing the vertical stream over the horizontal on YouTube specifically. I'm sorry, guys. I know that this is one of those things because there's a few of you that like to close it out, listen to it in a, and I'm sorry that your Samsungs apparently don't work, especially if you're a YouTube Premium user. That's kind of insane. I will just say this, though. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm using, like, too much bandwidth. Also, that is a problem. But just so you know, a new talking point going around is that the 2019 whistleblower colluded with Democrats before reporting and that the impeachment was fraudulent. Oh, okay. Okay, is it a talking point? Is there any merit to it? I know nothing about it. Wow. Losing my touch here. Apparently, I don't know something. We ride with Pep regardless. Yeah, see? Some people watch for the personality. Oh, God. All right, let's do this. All right. Wait, 2019 whistleblower. I don't even remember what you're talking about. What, about the... Oh, wait. Are we talking about the Russian collusion thing? And that, like... I don't care. Whatever, dude. Trump's gonna pardon everybody. He's gonna get away with everything. And that's why I was getting so mad yesterday, where I was just like, dude, we're sitting here arguing about, like, semantical bullshit. It is semantical bullshit. While this motherfucker's out there subverting our democracy and just telling us that he's going to do so, but we're just like, well, I don't know who I can throw my vote behind. It's like, you might not even have the privilege to vote anymore. That's the reality we live in. Like, you do understand that he is just going for it too. And we're all getting, like, I know that I'm just fucking kind of burnt out about it, where I'm just like, if he does it, he fucking does it. What else are we gonna do? We actually gonna fucking take the streets? I don't think so. I genuinely don't. I'm sorry that I'm a little more pessimistic on this shit, but it's insane. It's fucking insane. This guy literally is doing everything to piss everybody off. And he's the only one that seems to be fucking just meh. Rosy posy. What the shit is this? Oh, someone just... Okay, that's weird. Give me one sec. Recent reporting from wait, okay, so here we go. Recent reporting from transcripts that they didn't mark the box that said they contacted Democrats, and the guy in the hearing said that yes, he did make contact before reporting, but what they omit is the person that the person they contacted was a staffer, so they knew procedurally what to do. I don't even get it. What's the problem? What's the actual fucking problem? So, what are they saying now? I just don't give a shit. I genuinely don't give a shit. The fact that we're not out there just saying, okay, so the 2020 election rigged under Trump's FBI, DOJ, and he had control of all that, right? 2024, not rigged, but Biden had all the time to rig it. It's almost like he's full of shit and everybody should know that. Hey, look, Sparky's back with his alt. Yeah. Sparky. I like the fact that he has a new nickname, too. Tinkerbell. Yes. All right. That's a proper way to use the Pika Pika. Wait, do I still have that over here? Yeah, we'll do this one, too. Oh. Sorry, guys. Full disclosure. I haven't insulted someone either. So in the news app that I have in the comment section where they are all shitting on Dems, I just keep posting the 2029 article. trying to say that he colluded with Democrats before whistleblowing and Trump did nothing wrong. You know what? Then this is on them to fuck. I'm not fighting their battles anymore. I'm not fighting for the fucking Democrats. I'm not fighting these assholes. I'll just ignore them. It's so easy. You do understand that this is like you want to know the secret to just completely defusing MAGA and Donald Trump? You don't give him any fucking, you don't give him any attention. You take the attention away, then he's just, hey guys, I'm about to start a war. Okay. I said I'm about to start a war. Yeah, we heard you. I'm gonna steal the elections. Okay. Why is nobody paying attention to me? That's how I see it now. Sorry. Wife's being funny. Like his general's not blocking the strait. Yeah, right? We used to call Sparky, Sparky's get a broom, clean up your mess. When people started ignoring Democrats for bashing Hassan, then Ezra Klein started giving up his back to the true left. It's the right move. Yeah. No, it is. Just, dude, I get it, man. As somebody who does this, like, in the political field, which, I don't know, man. The future of my content is just know that I'm not going to just blanketly stop doing news and politics or any of that, but also just know that, yeah, I might be doing more comedy-focused stuff and just, like I said, too, just being real about this, where I'm like, who cares? Who the fuck cares? I don't care what Trump has to say. Like, you guys remember when I first started using, like, ground news, and anytime that the article would start with Trump says, I just ignored it. And you know what? It worked. Because those stories that we were freaking out about and that I would have freaked out about like during that day turned out to be nothing. Now, I'm not saying like everything is to ignore, like again, the Iran war or all that shit. Because yes, we do need to point out just how much of this is his fault and how he screwed the pooch on this one. You know? But realistically, Sylvie, you do understand that, like, even just the idea that, oh, did you see that they're coming out with these talking points? And I appreciate that. Thank you for, like, making me aware of that. But we know it's talking points, so why, what am I preparing for? What am I supposed, is this like a debate prep? Am I supposed to fucking just be like, nuh-uh, here's the proof? I don't care. I genuinely don't care. He was impeached twice. He's not going to fucking reverse it. And if he does, guess what? What's the point? It's not like he was removed. You do understand that this is all just to placate his fucking ego. You missed Bob, damn it. He was only here for like a hot second. Then he decided to drop one comment. It's just so that you're not blindsided. No. Sylvie, I understand that. And I'm not saying to not tell me. I'm just, okay. No, I appreciate that. I'm looking a bit too deep into it. And back to what fucking guy said. Oh my God, I forgot his name already. Shit. Where is he? Steve? Yes. Stefan. There we go. Stefan. Yeah, kind of going to the Stefan point where I'm just like, after dealing with that yesterday, I kind of started really thinking about it where I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a lot healthier to just ignore these assholes until we, you know. Actually, hold on. Because I don't want to give you guys bad advice and say just completely ignore them. There's got to be a healthy middle here where it's just like, okay, you can totally be aware of it, but also not give Trump what he wants. Because what Trump wants is for all of us to lose sleep over this shit, to fucking literally lose energy, just to get run down. That's the whole point. I mean, they told us this. This is what's driving me fucking insane, is the more that the Democrats do nothing and that's their strategy, the more that it really does feel that we have been abandoned. And I have a feeling that this is going to backfire on them. Like, bad, man. Selective hearing, Pep. Yes, it's called, yeah, I know. That's exactly what it is. Jokes are always funnier the 10th time. Yeah, it depends on what room you're testing them in. Now, was this a room that you didn't technically work before? Because that 10th time could have been a charge, or could have been the one where he figured it out. Like talking it out is the answer, not splitting people. Yeah. No, I think we did a good job. I'm not calling you an asshole, by the way, and I didn't. Ren said it doesn't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. Trump just wants, yeah, and that's exactly it. No, he's literally the any publicity is good publicity, any publicity, and like I kind of when we were talking about Lisa Fleischman in the Trump store, like this is the way that they all think. Which, the fact that there's like that's out there, and it does kind of like it does work to them. At least they see it that way, where they're just like, oh shit, people are talking about me, I'm relevant. Oh god. 10 is the magic number on telling the joke in a room of geriatrics. I mean, to be fair, Trump has been running the same materials since 2015, so, you know, his audience still says, you know, they play the hits, fake news. There's also some people, you know, they don't care about the facts, and it's like, I'm not going to talk to you. Yeah. Like, that's why I don't mind some of, like, the engagement with the, you know, the trolls, but, yeah. It is, like, notice how, had I just ignored that fucker, he would have just gone. Which, in hindsight, probably the better thing to do. But, also to Stefan's point, or Steven, I don't know why I keep calling him Stefan, sorry. Steven, to his point, yeah. Like, I kind of did let, like, a little bit of my anger get to me. I think that's what, like, doing this stream, it kind of, there is a weird thing where I'm like, oh, I have to, like, do this in a healthy way. Oh, shit. Sometimes I fail. It's okay. He's been doing You're Fired since circa 2020 or 2006. Yeah, I know. No, he's been literally just doing... And the thing is, people love him for it. You know, that's the craziest part, is people absolutely love him for it. He somehow did, like, he controls the media now. He controls the fucking, like, the narratives. He controls everything, man. That fell to the dark side a little bit. Not saying that this is, like, a permanent thing, but I am going to just say, like, dude, my life, honestly, I got so much other shit going on that none of, like, Trump shit is fucking... It's not important to me. It really isn't. I don't give a fuck. I don't. All I give a fuck about is trying to get to... Like, here's... You want my goal? My goal is supporting every fucking Democrat that is going to take over a state... or a state seat. A House seat or a Senate seat. And we turn both of those fucking... both the House and the Senate blue. Then we can start arguing about who's left enough, progressive enough. We can, you know, start arguing all that bullshit. But until then, I have absolutely zero interest in attacking anybody that's a fucking Democrat right now. I don't care. Because you ever think that we're getting worked? We're sitting here complaining about fucking Democrats. Well, this motherfucker, just on the daily... like, fuck. Like I said, sometimes I think that people just want to be mad at Democrats because they are the easier opposition. Because it's safe. keep repeating myself with that one, but I think it's true. Which, with that mentality, yeah. I would find out who he contacted in what position, and from now on say he contacted this person in. Who cares? See? Right there. Steven just bought into it. Whatever, man. Have fun. Have fun being miserable for the fucking next, half year? What sort of stream you got planned for our holiday? May the 4th be with you. Well, May the 4th, maybe I'll do like a Star Wars theme. I do want to talk about Maul. Like, dude, the Maul show is so fucking good. It's actually, I would dare say it's better than Andor. But, Andor's a little more poignant. Just gonna say. It feels a little more, yeah. That's why the Hassan quote sticks in my head every day. You don't hate Republicans enough. Yeah. Not to sound like a broken record, but the left is so concerned with leftist orthodoxy that we... Wait. Hold on. My chat just froze. There we go. I'm going to just start this one again. Not to sound like a broken record, but the left is so concerned about leftist orthodoxy that they get walked on by anyone who says abortion is bad. Bukowski said, the problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts while stupid ones are full of confidence. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do this. I was going to save this for the fun half, but since we're talking about this, here we go.
Kids are the purest form of philosophers. They don't just accept the world, they question it. They are driven by curiosity.
Wait, this isn't one.
Curiosity, raw, untamed.
What the fuck?
That's been analyzed by BBC Verify, showing that
Yo, dude. Okay. Every once in a while. All right. Well, that sucks. Where the fuck is my the actual video I wanted to play? Give me a second. Oh. There we go. There we go. Finally.
Someone once told me that winning an argument with an intelligent person is difficult, but winning an argument against stupid one is impossible.
Yep.
And this is just so true. Stupid people carry a strange kind of arrogance. They don't argue to understand, they argue to win.
Yep.
And in doing so, they unknowingly create traps in every conversation. You step in, thinking logic will guide the discussion, but instead, you find yourself...
This is almost like every time I get invited to a debate.
...pulled into frustration, confusion, and eventually regret.
What's up, Jehu?
And somehow,
how you doing,
they
guys?
seem to win.
Good to see you.
Not because they are right, but because they drag the conversation to a place...
You're not sure what you walked in on? We're learning about just interacting with stupid people and just not falling for the fucking traps anymore.
Where reason no longer matters.
Because too many people really give in to Trump and his bullshit and just, in general, MAGA and their bullshit.
The other person walks away angry, drained, and wondering why they...
Shit, I argued too long. I got to get riding my bike to work. Oh, no.
...even started the argument...
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, be safe.
...in the first place. But why does this happen? Why is it so hard to win against them? And more importantly, is there a way to protect ourselves from falling into this trap? In this video, I will explore exactly that through some uncomfortable insights of the pessimist thinker Arthur Schopenhauer.
That clip sounds like Sam Harris. It's not. Even if it was, this would still matter.
There is a painful truth that most people learn too late. Some people cannot be changed, not
specifically on the topic of dealing with idiots,
because they refuse to listen, but because they genuinely cannot see what they are missing. This is where the real danger begins. Psychology calls this cognitive blindness, often explained through the Dunning-Kruger effect. The idea that those with the least competence are often the most confident.
I mean, it literally explains our entire fucking political system right now, so.
People with limited knowledge tend to overestimate how much they actually understand. They are not pretending. They truly believe they already know enough.
Am I related to the actor Barry Pepper? No.
And that is what makes them unreachable. You cannot guide someone who is convinced they have already arrived. Arthur Schopenhauer understood this divide deeply. He observed that men of very great capacity find the company of very stupid people preferable to that of the common run.
Yes, we are.
What he
Actually, I
meant
forgot to add
was
the ones from
unsettling.
yesterday.
The intelligent and the foolish often live in completely different realities. One sees complexity, nuance, and contradiction. The other sees a simple, fixed world and clings to it. You cannot fix someone who cannot even perceive the problem. But it goes deeper than ignorance. Human beings
But this is also like the one thing that he's not talking about is how we also have that thing where we want to save them from their own stupidity.
are not
And we
wired
think that like because we're coming at it, you know, wanting to understand and wanting them to understand that it's technically, you know, with good
to
faith.
seek truth
If
as
your wife
much
is
as
doing
they are
better,
wired
she's doing okay.
to defend what they already believe. Modern
Doing better
cognitive
today.
science shows
Just,
that reasoning is often
tired.
just a tool for justification, not
She's wrestling
discovery.
right now.
We don't think to understand. We think to protect our existing beliefs. This is why foolish individuals become masters of what is known as confirmation bias. They actively search for information that agrees with them and reject anything that threatens their worldview. Even when presented with clear, overwhelming evidence, they will twist it, reinterpret it, or dismiss it entirely. Their mind is not a place of learning. It is a courtroom where every fact is forced to defend their pre-existing beliefs. This is why arguments with such people feel exhausting and pointless. You bring logic. They bring resistance.
It's literally like every time that
You bring evidence. They bring
you've watched any of like the debate shows, you can see it.
reinterpretation. And in the end, nothing changes. Psychologist Leon
Stacey.
Festinger
How's it going?
demonstrated this through the
By
concept
the way,
of
I just saw
cognitive
that you were the one who was asking about my wife. My bad.
dissonance.
Just read the comment.
He
didn't see
found
the
that
name.
when people are confronted with proof that they are wrong, they often double down instead of
Also,
reconsidering.
Corn, what up?
The
Yo,
discomfort of
Corn, 1999. Do you see that they want to bring back? Monkey was saying how he wants the family values tour back.
being wrong is so intense that the mind chooses denial over growth. They would rather protect their ego than accept reality. And that is where ego enters the battlefield. For many, beliefs are not just ideas, they are identity. To challenge what they believe is to challenge who they are. This is why foolish people
I ever
often
heard of Crowbar? Is it like a band?
respond with anger, mockery, or dismissal. It is
Look
not
like
just
a rocker. Oh, thank you.
disagreement. It is self-defense. Admitting they are wrong would feel like destroying a part of themselves. Schopenhauer captured this brutally when he said, "The
I'm
person
guessing
who
it's a band.
writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. People do not seek truth as much as they seek comfort.
Yeah.
They want to be reassured, not corrected. They would rather live
But the thing is, guys, this is where you also have to recognize your own stupidity sometimes. Like I have recognized myself doing exactly that. I'm like, oh, it's literally falling into the trap.
in a pleasing illusion than face an uncomfortable reality."
Yeah.
Even Martin Luther King Jr. warned about this danger when he said,
It's your husband.
"Nothing in
They've
the
been all over TikTok.
world is
Oh,
more
nice.
dangerous than sincere
check 'em out.
ignorance and conscientious stupidity." The key word
I
here
mean, if I get permissions, I'll also play them on the show.
is sincere.
I have absolutely like no quarrels about playing anybody's music in like, you know, but I have to have permissions.
These people are not always malicious. They believe in what they are saying with complete conviction, and that sincerity makes them even harder to reach. Finally, there is the problem of mental rigidity. Foolishness often comes with a closed mind, a refusal to expand, question, or reconsider. Schopenhauer noted that such
Yeah, it's the assumption that others will be persuaded by an intelligent argument.
individuals
Yeah. That's why, honestly, sometimes what I do here, like, dude, every once in a while, I know what I'm doing. Just as far as like trying to speak to the idiots. 'Cause
cannot see the
I can speak idiot.
interconnections between things. They perceive fragments, not the whole. And because of this, they often retreat into oversimplified or even irrational explanations.
Stacy, so for this one, just email peptalkstv@gmail.com. And yeah, I will totally
Their world is
playing his
smaller.
music. I just need to,
But to them,
I need it in written form from one of the band members, who actually, like, whoever's the admin on their channel needs to just say, yes, he has permissions for this.
it feels complete. When you combine all of this, ignorance of one's own ignorance,
For instance, if I like do get like a strike or something, or they try, they even say like, it's kind of like I have to appeal it, but then he does nothing, and then it just, then I'm able to use the music.
information bias, ego protection, and a closed mind, you arrive at a harsh conclusion. You cannot fix them. Not with logic, not with evidence, not even with patience.
Doesn't this sound just kind of eerie?
Because the problem is not a lack of information.
You know, like we've seen this in practice for the last 6 years in our politics to like a scary degree.
It is the structure.
Debate bro, like the uprising of debate lords, the fact that most of the fucking like political commentary space, they are kind of like this as far as the like right wingers
of their thinking.
That's also, like I said, like it's not even our fault. Sometimes it really is just they don't know. They don't know how this, like, that this is just how their brains work, that they will never budge.
Itself. And that is the moment you must understand something crucial. The goal
I
is
like
not
his use of the art, by the way,
to change them. The goal is to protect yourself. And if you are trying to change them, there is going to be a cost, which I will discuss now.
Oh, geez. A nice little handful of you guys in the horizontal chat today. Yes, the hidden cost. Here's the part that I really wanted to get to, because this touches on exactly what I was talking about with Donald Trump and just in general dealing with these MAGA idiots.
There is a cost to engaging with foolish people.
Yeah.
A cost that is rarely visible at first, but slowly eats away at your life.
Yeah.
It is not just about losing an argument. It is about losing your energy,
Spirit.
your time, and eventually a part of yourself. One of the most overlooked consequences is stress. Dealing with stubborn, irrational people creates a form of chronic psychological strain.
Yeah.
Your mind stays
Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I've just finally fucking had it.
alert, irritated, and tense, even after the conversation ends, and your body follows.
Facts aren't as effective as you'd hope. Nope.
Research has shown that negative social relationships, those filled with conflict, hostility, and frustration, can actually accelerate biological aging.
This is why Trump started attacking facts and calling sources fake, so people would doubt sources to change opinions. We used to value their where sources came from.
Terms.
The thing is, they technically do, because they'll ask immediately, well, where'd you hear that? They're just retarded, and they just want, like, they hear, CNN? Fake news.
Surrounding yourself with the wrong people doesn't just feel exhausting.
They don't care to understand media bias. They don't care to understand just how, like, any journalism works.
It physically wears you down. Your body reacts to these.
Like, that's where I'm at today. I'm fucking physically tired. I mean, I did do a 2-hour show earlier, too.
Interactions as if they are threats. Stress hormones like cortisol rise.
I definitely fucking had it this morning. Hey, Ravy.
And over time,
right there with you.
This constant tension begins to damage your health. Every moment spent arguing with a fool is a moment you will never get back. Time is your most valuable resource.
Yeah.
Yet
And this is honestly, I do need to get better about this. That's where just disengaging with that prick would have been easier.
it is the easiest thing to waste when you believe you can fix someone who refuses to change.
Yeah. I didn't
You
think
think
that,
one-
though. I'm not, I don't ever think that I'm trying to change their minds.
One more explanation will work.
It'd be nice if
One
I
more
did,
example
but I'm
will
not.
finally
That's
make
not my
them
goal. I don't
understand.
care.
But it never does.
Sometimes it is
There
just
is
to
an
get them
old
to feel
warning.
bad. But
Do not cast pearls before swine. Not because the pearls lack value, but because they will not be recognized. When you give your time and intellect to the wrong person, you are not elevating them. You are devaluing yourself.
Yeah.
That time could have been spent learning, building, creating, or simply finding peace. Closely tied to this is emotional burnout.
I really like this video specifically
Repeated
because
exposure
it does
to
remind you
ignorance
of
and
that.
stubbornness drains your patience. At first, you try to remain calm. Then you become frustrated. Eventually, you become exhausted. Conversations that should have been simple turn into battles.
No, they didn't. They didn't change their minds just 10 years ago.
And over time, you begin to carry
No, they always felt this way. The thing is, this is the reason he even got to where he is. He spoke to their baser impulses.
that frustration into other parts of your life. The danger here is subtle. You start to lose your
Never argue with an idiot. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you down. Yeah, beat you with experience. Yeah, that's a great fucking quote.
empathy. You become more irritable, more cynical, and less willing to engage even with people who deserve your attention. What began as an attempt to correct someone else slowly begins to damage your own character. When you argue excessively with foolish people, observers do not always see intelligence. They often just see conflict. And worse, they may not distinguish between you and the person you are arguing with. As the saying goes, never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
Yep, there it is.
Carlo M. Cipolla captured this reality with brutal clarity when he argued that humanity consistently underestimates the destructive power of foolish people and pays the price for it.
What I do without hope. Kafka. I mean,
Wars, crises, and disasters are often not just the result of evil, but of unchecked stupidity combined with influence. And that is the most dangerous part. When you start taking a fool seriously, you unintentionally strengthen their position. But how can we prevent ourselves from all this? This is what I will discuss now.
Christianity has facts. It depends.
Now that
It depends on what you're classifying as facts from the Bible. Because honestly, the problem with the Bible is that no, it really doesn't. Like, here's my problem with the history of the Bible specifically, and I'll just wrap it up in just one quick story. The Book of Luke. The Book of Luke is essentially like they admit that it's kind of a copy of the Book of Mark, which then you get down to it, and it's all the inspired word of God that they can't even pinpoint to one person. So, yeah, facts, what? And then you look at the fact that these are the Gospels that kind of omit some of the things that were in the other Gospels.
it is clear that
Yeah, it's too easy to pick apart, especially for a divine book. So there are specific parts where they'll talk about a historical battle, and then archaeologists go to said battle site and they find nothing. No proof that a battle had ever happened. And I mean, trust me, these people, they know how far to dig to kind of get to that.
foolish people.
So at that point, it does kind of just turn into, I don't think this happened. Or you do the Christian thing where you just go, technically it was another field, geographically this was different. It's just well, I mean, they actually had it, even for the Bible, some of them actually gave precise coordinates.
People cannot be fixed, and that engaging them comes at a heavy cost. The only rational response is withdrawal, not out of weakness, not out of fear, but out of discipline. This is not surrender. This is strategy. The first step is awareness. You must learn to recognize who in your life consistently drains your energy with ignorance, stubbornness, or unnecessary conflict. Once you see them clearly, the next step is boundaries. And boundaries are not about
Stacey,
controlling
thank you for the
others.
$10 donation.
They are
I
about
appreciate that.
controlling
Stace of
access to yourself.
$22.10. Smiling face with hearts.
Thank you. Also, thank you for using the link.
This
I really
means
appreciate
learning to
that.
say no. It means limiting how much time,
If
attention,
you guys want to donate to the stream, I do also recommend the link. If you,
and emotional energy you give. Not every conversation deserves your participation. Not every opinion deserves your response. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.
Yeah.
You can
Just walk away.
excuse yourself politely.
Yeah.
Change the subject.
Yep.
Shorten interactions.
Yeah.
Create invisible rules for your own peace. No pointless debates. No late night
Yeah.
arguments.
I mean, honestly, this is what I've been practicing for a while. I have been failing as of late, and I have been engaging with more of this. And now that I'm getting this little refresher, I feel better. I think I need to watch this, or just in general remind myself of this every month or so.
No engaging in topics that always spiral into chaos.
Give you prime.
You are not
I appreciate
obligated
that, man.
to attend every argument you are invited to. And more importantly, you must understand this. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. But withdrawal is not only external, it is internal. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." This is the essence of mental detachment. Foolishness only affects you if you allow it to. Their words only disturb you if you internalize them. So instead of reacting emotionally, you begin to observe.
Yeah, except here's the thing. The attacks on free speech have come directly from the right wing now. So if we value that, our Constitution, our rights under the Constitution, then we have to protect it and the idea of,
Instead
the democracy behind
of
it.
arguing, you acknowledge and move on. You stop trying to correct every false statement and
This
start
is where, again, the most effective thing you can do to a Donald Trump is just ignore him.
protecting your inner state.
Just want to say, hi, have a good stream. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You can even imagine a mental barrier,
Assuming you're going to go game.
a filter that lets words pass through without impact.
Little jealous.
Over time, this becomes a habit. You still value truth, but you no longer sacrifice your peace trying to enforce it. Another powerful tool is indifference.
Why do I
Or
feel
even-
like this video is calling you out? If it's for the same reason that I did, it's because you engage with this too much and we lose
and
clarity.
humor.
Hey, you.
Not everything deserves seriousness. When a foolish claim is made, you don't have to dismantle it with
Oh,
logic.
you got a $10 donut.
Sometimes a light response, a smile, or a simple
Oh, you didn't have to
interesting
get up.
is
I'm gonna bring
enough.
it to you.
Other times, ignoring it completely is even more effective. Because here is the truth. Foolishness feeds on attention. The more you engage, the stronger it becomes. The less you react, the faster it fades. This is why silence can be more powerful than argument. A fool cannot argue with someone who refuses to play. And then comes perhaps the most important strategy of all, choosing your environment. Arthur Schopenhauer observed that those who think deeply often find themselves disconnected from those who do not. There is a natural divide between meaningful
Ebru?
conversation
Hello.
and empty noise. And you must decide which side you want to live on. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, not people who trap you in endless, meaningless
Inglés?
debates.
I don't know what you're saying, dude.
Seek out curiosity, depth, and humility.
Me stupid American. Me only speak one English.
When your
One
environment
language,
is
bad-
filled
well,
with
two.
thoughtful
English and
individuals,
bad English.
you no longer feel the urge to argue. You feel the desire to
Development.
learn. And when you cannot avoid foolish people, whether in family, work, or society, you adapt. You keep interactions brief, neutral, and controlled. You engage when necessary, but you never immerse yourself. Finally, redirect your energy inward. Every moment you stop wasting on trying to fix others becomes a moment you can invest in yourself.
Yes, and this is the biggest one.
Read more, learn more, build something meaningful, grow in ways that actually matter. Because here is the quiet truth. While you are trying to change a fool, you are standing still. But when you focus on yourself, you move forward.
Are we meditating? Pretty much.
There will always be people who refuse to think, refuse to
I think that this is going to have a lot of
learn, and
impact
refuse to change.
on the audience here, because I think that if you guys didn't already know this, which no shame, not all of us are fucking, have studied philosophy in any way, which is fine. Yeah, this simple explanation of just like, don't give in to the fools, because honestly, they're just sucking your fucking, they're just sucking your energy away. Sucking your fucking
That is not
energy
your
away.
responsibility. Your responsibility is to protect your clarity, your time, and your peace.
Yep.
So do not descend into their chaos.
Yeah. Also, because what it ends up doing is it makes you essentially like run into the whole just battling them all the time while not being able to plan, a better future. Like in our current political system, I think that's why I was reacting the way I was yesterday. Also, cheers. Hell yeah. They're emotional vampires. Yeah, but that's exactly. Don't feed the trolls. That's exactly what it really comes down to. Which every once in a while, like what I do, I kind of see it as like sparring, you know, which even that, yeah, it may be like, okay, all right, so I might just create an excuse so I can just go interact because I guess that's what it is. It is just like it's just kind of sparring at that point because it's not like I'm gaining anything from it. Like thinking back to it, like even debating Andrew Wilson, it's not like he was never going to concede and just see my point of view on something, and I was never going to like change his mind on anything. It's kind of where all those debates go. That's why I'm just so over it. Oh, Stacy, again, thank you for the kind $10 donation.
Staceb $22.10. Keeping you in my prayers, folded hands heart.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And also, thank you for keeping me in your prayers. Like, again, I may not be religious, but I do always appreciate when people put the vibes out there. I'm a very, very big believer in the vibes, at least, you know. This is also why I don't, like, just say, I don't know, energy's not transferable. Okay, what's going on here? The thinker dies many times before his body does. Yeah. The thing is, like, some of these philosophers, this is what I always liked about pointing out to, like, some of, like, the people that were in really deep into philosophy, was how fucked up Nietzsche was. Or Nietzsche. And just, like, how fucked up some of these philosophers were mentally. Where it's like, yeah, they got some good ideas, but also, just remember that they were flawed humans, too, and there was some shit there. So, that guy laughing my ass off. I can never Nietzsche. Yeah. Or as your average American will call him, Nietzsche. Philosophers were emo before it was cool. I mean, yeah, Nietzsche was 1000% that. Like, dude, he was also like the proto incel. Like, dude, incels love quoting Nietzsche. But doesn't mean that he didn't have some good ideas. Nietzsche. I thought it was I've done the phonetic spelling on it from Google. It's Nietzsche. Chad Marcus Aurelius. Anyway. You know what really pisses me off is that I can see people talking shit about me because I have I am in horizontal and I went over to vertical and I can't see them. Yeah. Pap, you look so stressed. I am. I'm also dealing with a situation right now, so just give me a minute. Just it's whatever. Give a yell, it helps sometimes. I do that. I've done that. Yeah. That doesn't get annoying because it's like they're just being mean for the sake of being mean. I can't even be like how I know you are, but what am I back? Who gives a shit? Steven, let it go. My God, watch some Frozen or something. Listen to that song on repeat. Let it go. Let it go. I'm pretty sure it doesn't sound like that, but I don't think it's being mean. People are in charge of their own social media experience. Yes. Yes. You know what? You use yourself a heavy bag. Yeah, I think I need to hit the range soon. That's what's gonna have to happen. I need to go blow off some steam. That's definitely that's for sure. That's for sure. It's definitely been a little stressful lately. That's cool. What up, Kois? How's it going, brother? Hope you're doing well. You offered, don't forget. You offered what? I might have already forgotten. What did I even say? I'm tired. You guys created your own little chat room, and when I say something, you talk shit about me, and you get to say it to each other, and I don't get to see it. Dude, they blocked. Oh my God, now you're on that shit. Like, get over it, dude. Yes, people can block you on things. That's just how it goes. Either interact with the people that you can still interact with. You can still say your stuff, like make your peace. Like, dude, stop complaining. Oh, right. Sorry, yeah, the range. Yeah, no. You know what? No, Coins, I'll hit you up with that. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Anyway, I'm asking her name. Anyway. All right. God damn it. Yes, we get to create our own space. Shocking, I know. Yeah. That's what this is. I mean, honestly, like I said, it's also the split chat. Yeah, I'm making the executive decision. I'm actually going to fast forward that to tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream is going to be vertical exclusive on YouTube and then horizontal exclusive over on Twitch. And I'm going to just toy with doing that because honestly, I'm getting tired of fucking splitting the audience. I'm getting tired of all the bandwidth. I'm getting tired of it all. I'm also really tired of my fucking OBS splitting my chats. So what ends up happening is you think that Steven, you think you're mad? I don't see half the fucking chats. I have to go to the fucking I have to click on the actual YouTube video and there's the chats. All right? You think you're dealing with problems? Fuck off. Needs a festival. I do. Ooh, some doses. Ooh. That'd be nice. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Soon. Anyway. Steven, I'll talk to you, buddy. Yeah, dude, again, you got people that are willing to engage with you. The problem is, dude, you're trying to antagonize people that don't want to interact with you. You're trying to force interaction with people, which is not what this is. That's not what any, social media is. Any platform you can block somebody. It is how social media works. You're not entitled to keep pissing people off just because. All right? He's at horizontal if you want to go for it. I mean, it really depends too. Like, if you guys want, and the other thing is, it's the interaction part too. This splits the interaction. God damn it. Ghost Train, what's up, man? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Just hit the like button on your way in. That's just the one thing I'm gonna ask everybody. No, I'm upset that they are talking about me still. How do you know they're talking about you? If you can't see their chats, how do you know they're talking about you? You've been unplugged for the last 4 weeks. What happened? Go. What, you want to speed? Watch my latest video, or my latest short that I just released. You want, the news given to you in a speed read. Oh, by the way, Kois, are you in one of the zones for the tornado warning? Because I am. I got myself a tornado warning. Oh, actually, I think it changed. Flood warning. Oh, son of a bitch. Again with this flooding bullshit, dude. We keep getting these flood warnings. You don't know exactly? You should check. Use WeatherWise. Just check WeatherWise. You don't even need to type in your address. You can just go to your area. Did you learn nothing from that video? Wait, are you talking about me? No, I don't think you are, but... Alright, let's play a video. I gotta figure out something here. People will mod you for no reason sometimes, but sometimes there's good reason. I don't have... Listen, I haven't had mods do nothing, like anything for no good reason. Dude, if you guys weren't here for it, I blew up on a mod for that, okay? Like, it caused issues. Because I do not want my mods just fucking blanketly getting rid of people. Sometimes, and this is where it is the fine game. Like, after watching that video, it's just like, okay, what is the balance of letting these idiots fucking do their thing and just then, like, usually if we ignore them, they take themselves, like, out of the chat. But every once in a while, like, it is also, part of this is engagement. Like, I am stressed today. God damn it, I need something. I'd pay for a members only video of you jamming out to some good music. Oh, well, I mean, you'd have to become a member. Actually, let's see. I could probably do that. Now that I think about it, I could do that on a short video. Just see, that's the one thing that I don't like is the fact that you can use music in shorts. I almost gave up the game. Oh, you are a member. My bad, dude. Anyway, Steven, it's a cool, man, yeah, it's cool, man. No one's talking shit. The thing is, Steven, that's my biggest thing. My biggest gripe is I'm going back through these chats now. I can't find anybody talking shit about you. So, yeah. Like right now, nobody's talking shit about you. You do seem stressed. Yeah, you know what? I am stressed. I'm fucking stressed. Yes, I'm fucking stressed. My wife is still going through cancer treatment. I'm also like doing caretaking responsibilities while also doing this, while also having other responsibilities, and then on top of it, I have other stuff going on in my life. You know, we got the boo over here, who unfortunately, yeah, I'm still worried about him. Like, yes, I have stuff going on. That's why, like, yeah, I can see it definitely coming out today. But also, realistically, like, I did 2 hours over on this space. God, I hope that, you know what, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I might be going back to 1 hour. Can Jake just come back? Can Jake just do his hour? I liked doing my hour, and then I got primetime Pepaganda tomorrow that, yeah, use Hang Your Hate. He can play that. It rocks. Hang Your Hate does rule. Most owners don't talk shit. We fling it back and then forget right away. That is true. That is very true. How many times have I literally, like, flung an insult or just said something and then I'm just like, what the fuck was I talking about? Show us your poop knife, Mr. Comedian. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that,
Isaac Newton,
Isaac.
98, $5. Show us your poop knife, Mr. Comedian.
Don't worry about it. They know you at the end of the day. No, I know. And that's the thing, guys. Like, I know. We all cool here. All right, fuck it. Let's get into some of this bullshit. All right, let's do the news on the U.S. sanction. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do the proper news segment, and then we'll get to the fun. Because I got two Piers Morgan things that I do want to get to today. And then, yeah, I got some less serious videos. And then I got a Josh. We're closing out the show with Josh Johnson because, yes, I need to laugh today. So, I'm going to watch one of his newer videos. Stan's like, I think I'm owed treats. Oh. Good call. You are. Fine. Right. What? What? Good boy. You shut your... God, I love you. Oh. Yeah. Honestly, and that's part of it, man. I'm worried about my dog. All right. He's had a good few days, but I noticed today that he's not exactly putting on the weight that he should be, and yeah, I'm a little worried. So he's a storyteller. We all wish we could be, but couldn't emotionally handle being because of the life he had to live with to get those stories. Oh, him? Are you talking about him, Josh? Yeah. Or if you're talking about me, sure. Let's just pretend for a second you're talking about me. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's one thing that I've known. Like, dude, I kind of brought this up to, God, I hate to admit this. So, all right, I was talking to my stepmom about my brother. And it was so funny because at one point, she kind of, it was like the way that a mom would kind of insult, like, a kid, but not try to insult because, you know, she kind of insinuated that he's got the personality of, you know, drying paint. And I was like, oh, so even the mother recognizes this. I see. And yeah, I kind of did just bring up how not only do I agree, but it kind of, I was like, that stems from the fact that he had a happy upbringing where he had both his parents, you know, like out of all of us, because he was the only one that like came from, you know, my dad and my stepmom. So, ew, I said game. Steven, the vertical chat has moved on. Please move on yourself. Dude, for real. Like, you're still going on about it, bro. You're not... You're fired up about nothing. Calm the fuck down. Josh Johnson always has a way of deconstructing a joke so perfectly. I'm genuinely, like, jealous of the, like, way that he can do that effortlessly. And the, like, dude... I kind of wish that this was the way that, like, comedy was. Like, the Josh Johnson, being able to go out, just film whatever show he's doing, and that's his new special. Like, dude, the fact that so many comedians did you have to go do at least 100 different shows to work out the material, because then you got to get a clean hour, you got to get your clean out. Do you know how many comedians feel like assholes for that? Because their hours still turned out kind of like shit, even with all that work. And then you got guys like this that are just going out there talking, you know, just talking half the time. But you can join my all right, let's get to the news. Let's fucking do it.
Linked tankers have crossed the strait despite Washington's naval blockade. 2 of those ships had visited Iranian ports. That's according to Marine Traffic. Its data shows a bulk carrier, the Christiania, crossing the strait on Monday, having called at the port of Bab el-Mandeb. China, the biggest buyer of Iranian oil, describing the U.S. restricting access to Iran's ports as irresponsible and dangerous. And what we've been hearing from the Pakistani capital, Islamabad, as well, reports that the next round of talks may take place this week or early next week to extend the current 2-week ceasefire. So far, neither Washington nor Tehran have made any formal comments on this next round of negotiations, but we're watching out for that and we'll bring you any comments as soon as we get them. Well, James Parkin is a retired Rear Admiral in the Royal Navy. With Iranian-linked ships managing to get through the Strait of Hormuz, he told me what he thinks is going on the strait.
I think the most important thing for your viewers to note is that this is a blockade of Iran's ports rather than a blockage of the Strait of Hormuz. And as a result, much of the action and activity in that area of the world is going to be calibrated by how ships try and escape the blockade. And the 4 ships that have gone through the strait today indicate that perhaps it's not being as enforced as strictly as might otherwise be the case.
So what we're seeing at the moment is a policy from the US Navy of deterrence, James, rather than enforcement.
Well, it's an interesting analogy because one of the things that has been apparent in the last few weeks is that despite quite a lot of the rhetoric, the Strait of Hormuz is not actually blocked. It's not blocked physically. There's no evidence of any mines being laid. But what has happened is that civilian shipping companies have been deterred from transiting the Strait of Hormuz because of the danger of attack from Iranian forces in particular. I see no evidence that that deterrence has been dialed down at all. And merchant shipping companies who are perhaps connected with non-Iranian ports and non-Iranian cargoes have so far been extremely reluctant to go through the straits because of both the shipping insurance impact and also the risk of attack or damage to their cargoes. So for a blockade to be legal and effective, it does have to be enforced. And certainly from the first 12 or so hours of the blockade, that doesn't appear to be the case.
What is the biggest danger right now?
I think there are 2 dangers that leap out as to courses of action that may take place. Danger number 1, I think, is that the ships and the assets that the US Navy
Wait, so we're blocking them? Oh yeah, you did just say that you've checked out for 2 weeks. Yeah, now we're blockading them. God, that's got to be so weird. You have to feel like a time traveler. That's crazy.
The blockade are not able
You're
to
like,
do
wait,
that.
what?
Blockades themselves are actually a matter of international law, and one of the elements that has to be fulfilled for this to be a legal blockade is that it has to be effective. And if 4 ships have gone through already linked with Iranian cargoes that have not been stopped, not been boarded, that implies that the US Navy at the moment is struggling to have sufficient assets in the area to be able to enforce the blockade itself. So I think danger number 1 is that the Iranian ships continue to get through and the US forces perhaps slightly overreact in order to counter the narrative that the blockade is not being enforced. Perhaps the second and more dangerous but less likely course of action is that the non-Iranian linked ships, which are free to pass under the US Navy's notice to mariners to non-Iranian ports, when they start to go through and they've been reassured that they are subject to attack by Iranian forces. That would be the worst of all worlds because it would show that the merchant shipping community is not free to proceed, that the US Navy's told.
Chat. All right. What's one of like the best types of sushi that's like a crab roll?
To do, and the Iranians are reopening hostilities against both ships and potentially
actually use some guidance on this
How
one.
much of the
I usually do a unagi, but I'm not feeling that right now.
is it, James? And we've talked about it a lot, but if you're actually out there and you're the US Navy, that it's not always possible to identify these ships, that there's false flags, and you don't know necessarily where they're going because they could turn off their tracking data.
Well, that's a really good point from an open source intelligent point of view. But in reality, modern armed forces know very well where every ship has
Best white people sushi? I guess, yeah.
been, and
Yeah, because I don't want salmon. Salmon. Man, I've been doing that a lot lately.
whom it is connected.
Damn.
From your reporting earlier on today, you discussed a false flagged vessel.
A lot of sushi
flagged
options.
with the Comoros Islands, which is actually not a registry that I believe has that ship on its books. But actually, US Navy, the UK Maritime Trade Organization, which is the global leader in tracking merchant marine traffic in that area of the world, they have a very good understanding of which ships have gone where.
Yep. Okay, so if you guys didn't get the crux of that, China just kind of went Leroy Jenkins and just decided to test the U.S. and say, all right, You gonna blow us out of the water? Bet, motherfucker. Yeah, and here's a little bit of a better breakdown. Let's do this real quick. And then, yes,
and
sorry.
is now saying he thought
trying to figure out
he was a
food.
doctor.
Yeah.
So evangelicals are very
Soccer
upset.
roll.
He did
Ooh,
delete the image, very, very rare. He also is in a beef with the Pope. That's another thing I'm gonna need you to explain to me. Pope Leo is weak on crime. A lot of crime, apparently,
Just an
out there in the
incredible
Vatican.
sentence, by the way.
That's right. That one will live on for quite some time. Sohrab Ahmari is going to join us to discuss this Hungary election where Orban officially lost election for the first time, 16 years. A center-right figure has, will now supersede him. But what's more interesting, honestly, is Orban's alliance with the United States. Remember, the vice president, JD, literally flew all the way over there to campaign for him. Orban got completely blown out despite being endorsed by Donald Trump, I think by Bibi Netanyahu. So big shift there. It's not exactly like a bunch of lefties have taken over, but it's interesting nonetheless. Sohrab has been following that very closely. And then Emily and I are going to discuss Sam Altman and a recent attack that happened on his home. Perhaps what it says about our current society. The FBI made an arrest and raided that person's home who perpetuated the attack yesterday. So we'll have some updates. And then finally, we're going to do an interview with Kristen Bright.
You never thought you'd be on the side of the fucking Pope? Yep.
She is a 9/11 widow. She lost her husband on
I mean, I have been on the side of the Pope before.
9/11, and yeah, she has some serious accusations
I never thought I'd be back.
against Secretary Howard Lutnick. She alleges that he has not been nearly as helpful to helping 9/11 widows gain access to the funds that they are, of course, they rightfully have, and as well has not aligned a meeting with Donald Trump, which she claims that on behalf of other 9/11 widows was promised to them. We did get a response from Secretary Lutnick, and we'll tell you all about what he said during that interview. But before we get to that, please hit subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you are listening to this on a podcast, please share an episode with a friend, and of course, please hit breakingpoints.com and become a premium
Maybe the
subscriber.
90s were
Emily
great for
and I are
men.
going
I
to
don't
do
know.
The AMA, but with
I haven't thought of it like that, but yeah.
all of that.
You did
a lot of
so
Stan could be the
well.
Pope. He should
no,
be the Pope.
this is way harder. This is so
you're
hard.
the fucking Pope,
I
Stan.
haven't even had a sip of that coffee just yet. Let's go ahead and start with Donald Trump and the latest on the blockade. Here he was speaking in front of the Oval Office with a DoorDash driver from McDonald's. Maybe we'll get to that
let's
at one point. Go ahead.
So this was his attempt. It's tax week. So to set the stage a little bit before we roll this out, he's trying to highlight He's
trying to highlight that you're making a little bit more on taxes while negating the fact that you paid damn near $2,500 on average with his stupid fucking tariffs.
Big beautiful bills, tax benefits to average
so sick of
Americans.
this
Hence
asshole.
the DoorDash driver you're going to see in this video.
And his no tax on tips initiative.
Yes, which is a perfect illustration of politically where he is right now. He's
Right.
trying to talk about no tax on tips, and instead, this is what happens.
Let's take a listen.
Round of talks planned with Iran, and if so, will you send Vice President J.D. Vance with?
Well, he's done a good job, and Steve and Jared, they've all done a very good job. And I can tell you that we've been called by the other side. They'd like to make a deal very badly, very badly.
What was the sticking point over? You said it was over nuclear.
It was over nuclear, very similar, yeah, very good. I guess you're listening. It's over the fact that they will never have a nuclear weapon.
As far as the naval blockade is concerned, what's the end game? Is it to force Iran back to the negotiating table? Is it to open up the strait so that gas prices ultimately come down?
Maybe everything. I mean, both of those things, certainly, and more. We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world, because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not going to let that happen. And the amazing thing is, we don't, can you believe this? We don't use the strait. We don't need the strait. We have our own oil and gas, much more than we need. We have more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia. Think of this. We produce more. Saudi Arabia, and add Russia to it.
If we don't need the strait, why are we blockading it? That's a very good. Why are we blockading the blockade? Look, I mean, the whole thing is crazy, Emily. He is totally in a vice of his own making, and we can even report to everybody this morning that the blockade's not even working. So
no way.
Yeah.
Pope Stanley the Cute.
No,
I'm kidding. It sounds exactly right. It sounds exactly right. I thought they were eager to make a deal. They've been calling President Trump, which is what he just said in that clip, of course. But no surprise there at all. As Trump would say, you don't have the cards.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put A2 up there on the screen as well. We'll take a listen to this where Trump claims that other countries want to help
93 through 95. What are you talking
in the
about?
blockade. Let's take a listen.
Dude, they still had segregated like boys, girls aisles at Toys R Us. What are you talking about?
Your anticipation, Mr. President, that other countries will assist in this effort to blockade Iran and those
Yeah, other countries are going to also.
Which countries, sir?
We don't need other countries, frankly, but they've offered the services. We'll let it be known probably tomorrow.
Has the blockade started, sir?
Yeah, started 10 o'clock.
So we've been trying to track that down, and so far we haven't been able to find a single one. Well, let's put A3 up there on the screen. Here we have the UK, Keir Starmer, probably the most important naval ally of the United States. Starmer says the UK will not join Trump's blockade of Iran's ports. We also know from the French that they will not join the blockade. Germany has not yet said. Nobody in NATO has said that they're going to be joining the blockade. The Japanese, as far as I can tell so far, haven't said. And South Koreans, which we covered yesterday, how furious they are with the nation of Israel. In fact, they have an opposite tactic, Emily. They have a special envoy in Tehran right now on the ground who's trying to negotiate safe passage for Korean vessels. So there's none of that that is happening right now. And of course, the Chinese also issuing threats against Trump on the blockade.
Yeah, and this, by the way, is an important part of the case for the war that we continue to hear for supporters of the war, which is that it has once again isolated Iran, further isolated Iran, and all of America's allies are rallying around the United States. And that is an actual case that I continue to hear. I don't know about you, but I continue to hear that case too. Well, I mean, particularly with the Gulf allies, but yeah, like the free world more broadly, as people talk about. Now, China, we should bring China into this. A4,
Sure.
Let's put it up on the screen.
A4, please.
Yeah, this is a Bloomberg tear sheet here. The headline is China urges restraint as Trump threatens to blockade Hormuz. Sagar, the Chinese reaction to all of this, not surprising, but also, again, undermining the case that this was some type of 4D chess move that was going to isolate China.
Yeah. What's interesting about the China thing here is they urged restraint. They also came out and they warned Trump. They said, you're not going to threaten our energy alliance with Iran. It has nothing to do with you. Remember, they've been buying a lot of Iranian oil over the years. It's not a huge percent to them, but now at this point, they kind of want to prop up Iran and they want to make sure that they're getting money, especially as an adversary here. We do know that they were some of the people who tried to get Iran to the table in the peace deal, which is very interesting. They're one of the people who actually pushed them over the edge. Now, though, by antagonizing China and directly threatening to inspect and to board their vessels, which would be heading to Iranian ports, you're in a whole other universe, right? Like, I mean, imagine, in the United States, if a Chinese vessel, or if an American vessel was transiting through the Taiwan Strait and it was subject to boarding and we're going to war over something
100%.
like that. And a significant amount of our trade moves through either Taiwan or the Straits of Malacca. Either of those could be very, very easily boarded and or inspected by the Chinese, according to their whole 9-line claims, which, who exactly are we to say whenever we're going to blockade Iran? And by the way, blockade is, of course, an act of war, which needs to be authorized by Congress. Congress is actually back in session. Are they going to lift a finger? Probably not. The other thing, just to allude to the blockade not even working, is let's put A9 up there on the screen. This was from Tanker Trackers yesterday. They said, we spotted a tanker on satellite imagery, which actually departed Karg Island and was spoofing like its signal to show that it had departed Saudi Arabia. We also got multiple reports this morning. Let's put A9B, please, up there on the screen. A U.S. sanctioned tanker, which was linked to China, is actually making its way through the Straits of Hormuz, testing Trump's naval blockade. And we also know that there were 3 separate ships as of yesterday, which were able to get through the Straits of Hormuz. Now, it is unclear exactly what type of ships those are. We do know that some of them are sanctions linked. We don't know whether they're going from Iran or not. It's all very complicated because of this whole spoofing thing where they can claim that they're coming, let's say, from the UAE. Apparently, this is a long tested thing now for Iranian sanctioned oil tankers, but it kind of exploded after the Russian oil sanctions, where all of these, they're called gray tankers, where they're technically kind of uninsured or outside of the normal legal system or sanction system from the United States. But clearly there's a dark network of tankers and of oil which is moving across the ocean, testing the blockade. So far, at least a few of those ships have gone through. All of this almost doesn't really matter because a few ships here or there basically means nothing to the global markets because you need hundreds of ships which are currently trapped, not to mention all of the oil stored in the Persian Gulf and all of the production capacity. OPEC announced yesterday 27% cut in production in a single month of March. That is, millions of barrels. And as Rory, who are a frequent guest here on oil, has said, is that dialing that up just takes a long. So you have a shortage in the amount that's being produced. You have a backlog.
I don't know why that's what I was like
of the strait, and now you have China and others testing the blockade. So I mean, this is a very dangerous situation. Ships can fire upon each other. Maybe the Iranians will threaten to close, the Bab al-Mandab Strait and
the
or
only
the Red
way I'll
Sea.
drink soda,
this,
by the way.
This all
It's out
just
of a,
demonstrates serious danger, I think,
that.
for the U.S. Like if you're going to threaten a blockade and then there's no actual blockade, what are people going to think, right? I mean, then it's actually humiliating, and it's very, very much, I think, fitting with the way that this whole war has gone.
No, that's exactly right. When Donald Trump is out talking about the blockade, how successful it is, how wonderful it is, and then it's juxtaposed on the split screen with this news about Chinese vessels going right through.
Well, they're not so this. Let's be careful because they're not Chinese vessels; they're owned. It's very complicated, right? I don't want to give a false impression.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
The point that I was going to make is that you have all of these
Chinese
other
flag
countries
ship
involved because of ships coming in, and it's not just a conflict between the United States and Iran.
God, the lack of riz between these two. Fucking A. I thought it was bad with her and Ryan, but at least Ryan, it's not just like two right-wing dipshits just fucking pontificating on, oh, Donald Trump, technically did this, but we gotta be fair here, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I give up. I'm not feeling it. I'm just
joining us now to talk about it. MS Now contributor Inzamam Rashid in Dubai, director of foreign and defense policy studies at the American Enterprise Institute, Corey Shockey. She's also a former official at the Defense and State Departments and retired four-star general and MS Now military analyst General Barry McCaffrey, also with a senior fellow for Middle East and Africa Studies at the Council on Foreign Relations, Stephen Cook. Stephen, Trump has criticized the idea of sunsets from the JCPOA, giving a time frame by which Iran could potentially restart its nuclear activity. Now there's new reporting that the U.S. is arguing for this 20-year suspension of Iran's nuclear program, Iran countering with about 3 years.
Might want to buy fireworks in case they impeach him. Dude, even if they impeach him, he's not going anywhere.
Why would the U.S. at this point allow Iran any latitude on this topic? Doesn't that leave the nuclear program intact or operational in a way that simply crosses Trump's red line?
Yeah, I think everybody has a right here to be confused about exactly what's going on. First, last summer, the president declared that the Iran nuclear program had been totally obliterated. Now, suddenly, when the issue is actually the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, the president is
born in '89.
Yeah, even I wasn't working in the '90s. A nuclear agreament that would put a pause
I didn't get my
on
first
Iran's
job until like
nuclear
01.
activity for 20 years. Presumably, there would be a sunset in that as well, as you suggested. The
That's not true.
administration has made a big deal of
if you work in a family business, then it doesn't matter.
Also including Iran's support for proxies and its ballistic missile program. But this is why these two sides are so far apart. The Iranians are in no mood to give away anything to the United States as long as they have a potential stranglehold over the global economy by at least partial control over the Strait of Hormuz. So this is
y'all are old as fuck.
Me as something the president needs a win, and the nuclear program.
It's funny because I read '89. I'm like, oh, you're still a little kid.
Willing to talk about.
Could the Trump administration claim that this is sort of a stopgap measure, the sunset clause of 20 years is a play for time in hopes that the Iranian regime will eventually collapse? And is there any indication that we're any closer to that?
No.
Well, I'm smiling because that was a central hunch at the heart of the JCPOA that the United States left in 2018. The Obama people would never admit it, but I think it was clear that they believed by the time that the restrictions on Iran's nuclear program, Iran would be a different place. Those sunsets were 12 and 15 years. So here we are, the possibility of the president repeating this same hunch, which had really no foundation in reality, but extending the timeline anywhere from 8 to 5 years.
Yeah, there's a thought that the regime is substantially more weakened than it was back in 2015. In Zamam, some ships have been able to get through the Strait of Hormuz despite this blockade. Are we essentially now in a holding pattern while these talks continue?
Oh yeah, YouTube's doing its thing.
I think that's
Great.
probably a fair way to put it, Ariel. But the
glitched
confusion pretty much continues on the Straits of Hormuz because there are conflicting reports ever since this U.S. blockade was implemented over 24 hours ago now. Initially, remember, President Trump said that he would put a complete blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. Then he kind of backed down and said, well, it would just be around the Iranian ports, those vessels going in and out of there along the Iranian coastline. He also had spoken about ships that would be paying toll fees to Iran to pass through. That the U.S. Navy would also
cousin that just passed was 77.
Stop them. But I say
1977.
Conflicting reports because this evening CENTCOM have put out a statement essentially saying that more than 10,000 U.S. sailors, Marines and airmen, along with over a dozen warships and dozens of aircraft, are executing the mission to blockade ships entering and departing Iranian ports. They said that in the first 24 hours, no ships have made it past the U.S. blockade, and they've said that 6 merchant vessels complied with direction from U.S. forces to turn around to re-enter an Iranian port on the Gulf of Oman. And then on the other hand, you've got shipping.
This is so stupid.
Traffic.
And the fact that the news is just dealing with this like it's business as usual instead of just being like calling it what it is.
Data, which actually suggests that there were at least 4 Iranian ships.
News is so neutered now, and they're like, Maga still won't watch this shit.
Including 2 that visited Iranian ports that crossed through the Strait of...
I hope it's working out for them, because honestly, I'm starting to get to the point of just checking out from MS now.
Hormuz today, and there were also another 3
At least
ships.
with fucking CBS and these other places, it's kind of like, at least we know what they are now. Like, honestly, CNN, I don't want to fucking watch any of their bullshit, because we're not sure if they're doing it for Larry Ellison anymore.
That pass through.
At least with, CBS, we know! So we can just call it what it is.
And this is a crucial note. One of those was actually a Chinese
like I said,
vessel
though,
that
this is why I watched that video at the beginning of the show.
managed to pass through untouched by the U.S. Navy in the Strait of Hormuz. The dozens of vessels that are there to essentially carry out this blockade. And China's foreign ministry had said that they condemn the blockade of Iranian ports as dangerous and irresponsible. Just quickly on the technicalities of all of this, Ariel, the U.S. technically isn't blockading the Strait of Hormuz. Instead, it's kind of aiming to blockade Iran's Gulf ports by operating all those Navy vessels in the Gulf of Oman and in the Indian Ocean as well, rather than actually risking sending those vessels near to the Iranian coast. Because if they do get near there, then Iran's still got a huge stockpile of missiles and
seriously, Pep, if you did a show with no politics, I guarantee the community would still be here.
drones that it could
Yeah, but it's kind of a growth. It's not the politics, guys.
target towards
Necessarily.
US vessels.
Because I do have a passion for talking about this shit.
It's also
No, I'm just kind of burnt out. I have to admit, I'm kind of burnt out on it. I'm kind of burnt out on the fact that we've been dealing with this idiocy for so long, and that after this weekend, how MAGA's turning on him, and this is what they're focused on.
Got some
Instead, like, dude, at least do the at least just fucking lean into it. Talk about how MAGA is turning on this motherfucker. Talk about the economy almost crashing. We are this fucking close. Today, of course, by the way, the day before the 15th, you know, that deadline about how if it didn't get fixed by the 15th, then we were going to be in a landslide, like a steep decline.
Fast boats.
And that we would possibly see inflation get as high as 3.8%.
as well that could be deployed in the Strait
Much love, thanks,
of
man.
Hormuz to head towards these huge U.S.
Yeah, the politics is actually a break from other serious shit. Like, honestly, that's realistically it.
vessels.
Guys, there's nothing that can change this. I'm dealing with some fucking pretty intense shit. You know, even if I took the day off, I would probably just be playing a video game at that point, which I could theoretically just do that down here.
So right now, it seems that the U.S.
I haven't even had the mental capacity to do that.
is staying back away from the Iranian coastline, and so as a result of that, it seems that some ships are being able to pass through.
So I would love, General, if you would react to what Insamam is just
Why does it taste so much better?
referring to. What does it take for the U.S. military to secure the Strait of Hormuz, to escort ships? What kind of military undertaking is that, and how dangerous?
No, I'm a game a little bit more, and I'm going to be focusing on more cerebral shit and just kind of, I don't know, talking to Smoke a Tide Pod today, which if you guys do not already follow him over on Twitch, please do. Smoke is a friend of the show, and he does what I would consider I hope he's not here because I don't want to, it'd be awkward, but he's probably got my favorite show on Twitch. He has the Luminal Mall. He does just fun little bits where he's got a fucking a Zoltar. Like it's so much fucking fun.
There's some very respected voices in national
Those are fire.
security
Yeah, they
saying the
are. I gotta
blockade's a
say,
good
yeah,
idea.
this Mexican Coke is like
I'm
it's
not one of them.
hitting, man. Like I'm
For
glad I
the
got this.
US
I needed
Navy
this.
to go into the Persian Gulf and try and directly enforce
were on
the
sale. I
blockade,
was
or
like,
even on their
why not?
ocean-facing ports.
Shit, the glass bottles were fucking more cheap than just getting a fucking six-pack. Like a
bad position.
a six-pack of the bottles was cheaper than getting a six-pack of the cans.
Look, we got to back off this whole issue and say it's encouraging signs of progress that both sides, both the U.S. and Iran, basically want to not end the two-week truce. The Iranians have been smashed.
Zoltar from the big movie?
Their production
Yeah.
capabilities, much of their conventional military power.
I have a picture, actually, with the
hold of
Zoltar.
The IRGC on
Found one in a soda
Iran
shop.
has been weakened. They're in terrible shape. Their economy's collapsing. They don't have enough water. It's a desperate situation.
Is it dentures that starts making you do the whistle like you're the gopher from Winnie the Pooh?
On the U.S. side, continuing the war is
Seriously?
not a good idea. Not just politically, but it also puts us in a position without allies.
I can't do the front whistle.
With diminished
Just realized
capability to
that.
affect the remnants of Iranian power.
Yeah, I can't do
and
it.
with the global economy in a chokehold by the
It's that
Iranians.
real cane sugar.
We ought to be hopeful that in the coming 30 to 90 days there's some extension of the ceasefire and maybe progress toward a stable peace.
Corey, it begs the question, how important is it who is sitting at the negotiating table? Why, in your view, is the White House having J.D. Vance at the forefront of these talks and not Marco Rubio? It seems Witkoff and Kushner have sort of been demoted in this case. Is that sending a message to Trump's more skeptical anti-war base?
I wouldn't presume to judge why the Trump administration's making those kinds of choices, but it doesn't bode well for Vice President Vance, given the inflexibility of terms he proposed in the first round of negotiations and the weakening of Trump's international position after the Hungarian elections, where they clearly attempted to put a big thumb on the scale in support of Viktor Orban, and it backfired. I think what we are seeing in the war with Iran
That was a big tooth bitch.
is a fundamental mismatch of military excellence, tactical excellence that is
And veneers don't work. Oh, God.
unattached to achieving.
Every
the
once in a while, you
strategic
see a pair of veneers and you're just like, ooh.
because the administration is
They did you
poorly
dirty.
defining its objectives and
Stop
and
trying to chew
pinballing all
on the
over the
cord.
place.
Seriously,
That
dude,
will
come
make
on.
Vice President Vance's negotiations all the more difficult to achieve a successful outcome.
And Inzamam, one of the key variables here is there's another front in Lebanon where Hezbollah is working to subvert the direct talks that could happen as early as today between Israel and the Lebanese government. You spoke to Israel's ambassador to the UAE about this. What did he say?
Yeah, and this is important because you've got to remember, Israel and Lebanon haven't been in the room together in decades. And so these were pretty historic talks that took place in Washington today. They are over now, and they seem to have had pretty positive discussions. But remember, this is Israel's war on Hezbollah as well, directly, a proxy of Iran, as they put it. And I think, the fighting that has happened over the last 6 weeks from Israel directly into Lebanon has hurt many everyday Lebanese people. We know that more than 1 million people have had to leave that country. Thousands have been injured, with many hundreds killed as well. As
Every
a result
fucking day,
of the
I
fighting.
gotta get a spray bottle or something for this motherfucker.
Today
Like,
I
dude,
did
this
speak
is
to
getting bad, man.
Israeli ambassador to the UAE, the first time he's spoken since this conflict began. And I specifically put to him about the idea of Israel targeting Lebanon on the day that this 2-week, albeit fragile, ceasefire started.
Why did Israel still target
9
Lebanon
out of 10,
in
Burp. Thank you.
the first few hours of a ceasefire?
First, the ceasefire didn't contain Lebanon. Lebanon is another
This feels like hanging out with a bunch of friends while our mutual friend watches the news and yells at his cat.
another region. It's another conflict.
Hey, you know what? I'm
Pakistan
glad
said
that
it
you're
did, the
enjoying it.
mediators
But
said it did.
Pakistan was they're commanding now what is in the conflict and what outside.
They were the mediators. They were there.
The mediators, that the minister, the secretary of Foreign Affairs said we have to eliminate Israel. This is a fair player. Just listen to this. The Hezbollah is a proxy of Iran.
Bit of a fiery exchange with the Israeli ambassador to the UAE. But you've got to remember, whilst these talks were going on in Washington between Israel and Lebanon, well, Israel was still carrying out their attacks into Lebanon. They say targeting Hezbollah strongholds.
Because Israel,
in,
they're evil and they don't give a fuck.
because they believe that Hezbollah has been firing
The news is always going to do this thing.
north of Israel. But I think, look, there is a real issue here, is that you've got Lebanese people at the very heart of this conflict who have been struck as a result of these Israeli strikes, hospitals, schools as well. And we're seeing huge damage right across Lebanon. But this is all going on whilst this ceasefire is still at play. So if we do see talks later this week, which the president is suggesting, the Pakistanis also suggesting, then this idea of Lebanon still being involved in this conflict from attacks from Israel has to be very high up on the agenda.
I mean, the fact that they have healthcare and we don't. Like, I find it beyond insulting. And we just fucking normalize this shit. Fucking so over it, man.
The defense secretary facing a deadline from a lawmaker tonight who is asking for the release of 46 videos of what the government calls unidentified aerial phenomena, or UFOs, by tomorrow.
So you have your standard understanding of what would be able to function in this time and
Okay, create another fucking distraction.
space continuum. And then you have these things that are just kind of operating outside of that. And
God, the dumbest people are leading us into the fucking destruction of our country.
what they
And somehow, some way, we were just like, yep, you know what? This is totally normal. These people are totally normal. This is normal politics.
to call these things are interdimensional.
They are.
This is where I do agree with Steven, where it is like, yes, this is where the Democrats did do this to us. They fucking...
Or specific videos with titles like several UAP in vicinity of Columbus,
the consulting class actually did this to us.
Ohio airport, UFOs in formation over Persian
So
Gulf,
glad that we focus
and
on
Syrian
stupid
UAP
bullshit, but
instant
actually,
acceleration.
just
All
fucking...
referenced in a letter from Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Luna explaining her urgency, writing, "The potential national security threat they pose is troubling."
There are many people in government that we come across that will come up to us, some in various high-level positions, that have said, look, we've seen these things, or...
Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares, Anna? Who cares?
We just don't want to be labeled as crazy.
The UFO...
What, the little green man gonna come out and save us? You fucking retard?
To the mainstream.
Fuck, I'm so sick of these idiots. I'm so sick of them.
Technology that we faced was far superior than any.
Every fucking 4 or 5 years we deal with this shit.
We had.
What up, God King?
There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing.
In large part after a bombshell
Godzilla
2017 New York Times report titled "Glowing Auras and Black Money."
Look over there, an alien.
The Pentagon's mysterious.
I'm just... Yeah, what? You want little gray men so you can lock them up and then just be like, it's the ultimate immigrants. Hey, we gotta go to war with this other fucking planet that we just made up.
UFO program that detailed a secret $22 million UFO program in the Pentagon to investigate reports of unidentified flying objects. The Navy
$600 billion. Cool. Still can't have health care.
Videos of aerial phenomena spotted during military training flights,
Man,
including
this
this
Coke
one
really-
of an object that
What's up, the
appears
burps?
over the water.
Yeah, you know what that was? This specific one. I've watched this one and I actually broke it down. I watched the breakdown. So watch the water with it. It's not actually going that fast. What's happening is the thing that captured this looked down at it and then saw that it just kind of moved with it. It's because it was a balloon.
At
Oh
Godzilla
shit!
God
Thank
King
you for the
$29.
$29.
4,200 looks better.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that so much. Fuck yeah, man.
Another seen in a
you.
mission from the USS Nimitz
Yeah,
of
it
some
does.
kind of object that accelerates out of view. Experts, including career officers, testifying on Capitol Hill that they have seen even more
Oh, you're gonna be
baffling
mad
things
at
they can't
me
explain.
because
And one
I
former
did this
intelligence
one.
officer
I just
saying the
realized
U.S.
it's gonna
was in
catch up now.
possession of a craft and
It's
beings
technically
that
gonna
were
be
not
426.
human.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human. From Hollywood and beyond, the UFO storyline has moved from the big screen
Yep.
to real
It's not gonna let
life.
me
We
remove
just
the
had the
six either.
craziest
Fuck.
orb UFO experience.
Singer Casey
Thank you,
Musgraves
Godzilla.
posting images of what she says were UFOs she recently spotted while on a flight from Texas to Tennessee. President Obama reigniting speculation himself with these comments on a recent podcast. Are aliens real?
What are we fucking doing?
They're real, but I
What
haven't
are we
seen them,
fucking doing here?
They're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51.
But then he walked it back, writing on Instagram, "I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us." President Trump saying Obama did a, quote, really bad thing disclosing this information and then
You said you were gonna fucking do it, you fucking asshole!
ordering the release of the UAP files back in February.
God damn it, you guys remember that? You guys remember? You remember when he was like, I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna release all the files. JFK, MLK, maybe even the UFOs.
As for tomorrow's deadline, the Pentagon telling NBC News in a statement, as with all
shit,
congressional
thanks,
correspondence,
Jesus
we will
Christ.
reply directly
At
to the
Godzilla
authors of the letter. Tonight, the
$44.
big question
Fixed it.
remains. If the
Thank
truth
you.
is out there, will they ever release it?
Oh, fuck.
Gotti is joining us now. You're ready. You are ready to see some of these videos. I know that this has been, like, honestly, something you've been reporting on for, like, years.
Yeah, years. And I'm ready to also be disappointed, Hallie, because as I've been reporting this for years, we have consistently been given these deadlines, these dates. There's going to be a hearing. There's this. The president has said, release all the files. And here we are. We don't have much. But the thing that I'm very excited about is whether or not we're going to see some of the videos, because the titles are pretty wild. This is the letter that was sent out to the Department of Defense, Department of War. And Hallie, again, the thing that's been so frustrating is that we don't have good evidence, right? We have sensors, we have all these platforms, but we don't have good evidence. A lot of this is
Now I feel
even
better.
in the descriptions here. United States Air Force,
God, you know,
16
it's just
C call sign Air Sur 11 shoots down UAP over Lake Huron with AIM 9X, a Sidewinder. We know what that one is. That one is going to be, you remember that Chinese balloon spy stuff?
Yeah, a lot of them are are not just Chinese balloons. Some of it's our own
That
shit.
was happening back in 2023.
Dude, Pete Hegseth literally shut down the aerospace to shoot down a drone that was ours.
And how they
You guys remember that? You remember how stupid our fucking administration is, and this dumb motherfucker's just sitting here like, yeah, aliens, yay!
shot something down. They labeled that a UAP. That one looks like it's going to be some sort of company that was
Honestly, dude, no. Aliens are fake. The idea of like this intelligent, like an intelligent humanoid life form coming, like it's all, dude, that's too fucking fantastical for even me.
monitoring weather, but then there are other
No, we're pretty fucking stupid, dude.
ones in here. UAP.
No, what the UAPs are is a bunch of fucking experimental aircraft from all over the world because, other governments have other they experiment with shit. Also, we are fucking so up our own ass that we don't even know what fucking China has been doing. Like, dude, we think this is and this is to America's detriment. They don't teach us what China's doing. And China's pretty good at fucking keeping that shit under wraps from Americans for good reason.
Underwater stuff next to submarines. We'll see if we actually see some of that video, but it could be very interesting.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
No. No, I'm not. And honestly, do I care? Do I care? Do I care? I don't care about that. I care about this one a little bit more.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me, I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor.
Yeah, because you're one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet, apparently. Maga, if you're Maga in this chat, which doesn't seem like we have a lot of Maga in the chat today, good.
And had to do with Red Cross, as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And
but if you're in there, how in the fuck you gonna reconcile this one? He's either dumb as shit by his own admission, or he's blasphemous. Which one?
Only the fake news could come up with that one. So
only fake news could come up with that one. Yeah, only fake news came up. You're the one who posted it, you monumental dumb fuck.
Just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor.
He is so fucking retarded. It's actually painful.
Making people better. And I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
Well, first of all, Brett, I think the president was posting a joke, and of course he took it down because he recognized that a lot of people weren't understanding his humor in that case. I think the president of the United States likes to mix it up on social media, and I actually think that's one of the good things about this president is that he's not filtered. He doesn't send everything through a communications professional. He actually reaches out directly to the people. You know, when it comes to the disagreements with the Vatican, look, we're going to have disagreements, Brett, from time to time. I think it's a good thing, actually.
Just lying.
That the Pope is advocating for the things that he cares about. But
it was a joke.
We're always going to...
Isn't it funny? I'm so funny. I'm cheeky. So cheeky.
Have disagreements on matters of public policy, or I should say, sometimes we're going to have disagreements on matters of public policy. The Pope has been critical of our immigration policy, but ultimately the immigration policy of the United States is set by Donald Trump. The Pope is going to have disagreements on other
crying, why are Americans so dumb?
issues. We can respect the Pope. We certainly have a good relationship.
Because the smart people are too busy arguing semantics amongst ourselves and also buying into thinking that we can fix them
with the Vatican, but we're also going to disagree on substantive questions from time to time. I think that's a totally
I think something broke.
Reasonable thing. It isn't.
I was definitely in a different place yesterday. I can say that. My bad. Haha. Jokey. During the brink of World War III. No, it's fine.
That is reasonable. They're going to have disagreements with the Pope.
Yeah, Godzilla, I'm glad that you get it. Yeah, ha ha ha. So funny. It's so funny. It's just so funny.
The Pope. Understand the Pope has his job, and the Pope's job, Willie, is
gas is almost $6 where I'm at, but yeah, sure, hilarious.
To teach the gospel of Jesus Christ to the world.
Diesel's almost
when
$6.
JD's telling him to mind his own business, well,
I don't want to misreport
his own business. One other thing too, if I could just say, JD said, "Oh, it's just a joke." No, blasphemy is not a joke. And if you don't have to take it from me, take it from some of Donald Trump's.
Because I'm a Catholic. Let's see how many times he mentions that in this report.
Biggest apologists in the Christian community, they didn't consider that to be a joke. In fact, most of them consider it to be blasphemy. Rod Dreyer, who is a...
Listen, I'm calling it now by November. Candace Owens, Tim Dillon, actually, not even by November, by August. By August, they're going to fucking walk this back.
Conservative author, a podcaster, writer.
And just be like, he apologized, and he really... they're going to find something.
Right Christian
Let's see.
community.
Let's just ride it out.
Rod said that he's not calling Donald Trump the Antichrist, but he said that it was Rod Dreyer, a conservative writer who attended the Catholic baptism of Vance and loves Vance before he entered politics, went further. I'm not saying Donald Trump is the Antichrist, Dreyer told the Wall Street Journal, but he's radiating the spirit of the...
I'm not even religious anymore. And he is checking off every goddamn box like it is legitimately something he should be doing.
Christ.
It's like he read it and went, sounds like a pretty based guy. Kind of, that's what the kids say, based. They call it based. Well, guess what? I want to be based. I want to be as based as the Antichrist.
No question. And believe me...
Like, he's actually kind of like, I mean, dude, just look at him. Look at him.
Again, that comes from a...
And that fucking, that disgusting neck pussy he has. Can you imagine the fucking crap that gets stuck in there?
Friend of J.D. Vance, a strong supporter of Donald Trump, and something that every single one of these people would have said if Barack Obama had depicted himself as...
It's like when you're cleaning out your car and you find a fucking old stale fry.
Jesus Christ. If
that
George
looks exactly the same.
Bush,
Oh, look at that. I had McDonald's. I'm not sure if this is from last week or last night. I don't know, but delicious.
Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, any president that preceded Donald Trump into the White House had depicted themselves as Jesus Christ. It's it's not a joke.
That one, Dell. Hey, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here.
Joe, you could play this game 10 times a
I'm
day,
not,
but particularly now.
wait.
What if former President Barack
Pro-throatus
Obama
or
posted a
anti-throatus?
picture of himself as Jesus? Can you imagine?
Very, very much anti-Trump here.
The wall-to-wall coverage on every network that was happy to.
So you hanging around? You gonna hit that sub and like the stream, or are you gonna debate me? I don't know. Either one. I guess I'll fucking take it.
Actually, if you watched yesterday, to turn away
at this
from
point,
this
I'm just
story
like,
because they
I'm here
knew there
for
was
it.
no
Let's
good
fucking
way
go.
out of it, that they couldn't buy the explanation that he was somehow a doctor. Remember when at the 2008 convention in Denver, when President Obama had the columns up behind him, he's acting like he's a Greek god, and there was all this fake outrage about that. What about this? The definition of blasphemy. And again, we asked this. Yeah.
Willie, the tan suit. How many segments did they do on the tan suit? How many people were shocked that he wore the tan suit? And yet this
very anti-whiskey keg's breath.
Doesn't
cool.
do anything of note on Donald Trump saying he's Jesus Christ.
This guy's sitting there like
Offended by the arrogance as they saw it of Barack Obama, but not here. And again, we've asked this of so many Republicans, Speaker Johnson, Lindsey Graham, the list goes on and on. But the fact that the Vice President of the United States has to wake up and be told, we need you to go on Fox News and defend Donald Trump, putting himself up alongside Jesus Christ, an image of himself as Jesus Christ. And the explanation always is, oh, you guys can't.
Oh, guys, check it out. My dog just came downstairs and found the cat in his bed.
Take a joke. That's just.
He just Goldilocks your ass.
Trump being Trump. Well, he's not some random guy on the internet. He's not a podcaster. He's not a reality TV show host. He's not a New York socialite in the 80s anymore. He's the president of the United States.
Kick him
but
out?
They always find a way to twist themselves in knots to excuse or defend what he's done. Let's bring into the conversation MS Now contributor Mike Barnicle, Politics Bureau Chief and Senior Political.
Oh, that was cute. He was just like, just give me my bone.
Political Jonathan Martin.
Look at this. This is so
and
cute.
Washington Bureau Chief of USA Today, Susan Page. Her new book out today titled The Queen and Her Presidents, The Hidden Hand That Shaped History. Great book. We're going to get to that in just a moment, Susan. Mike Barnicle, let's start off with you. Just this back and forth, the pathetic attempt, first of all, by the President of the United States to explain away this image of him as Jesus Christ, as him being a doctor. Of course, no one bought that. But then also the minions around him scrambling to somehow excuse what he's done here.
Well, I think everybody knows that the Pope is weak on crime and terrible on foreign policy. That's the start.
Why can we just, God, walk towards the light? I'm sorry. I'm just so overseeing all these old-ass motherfuckers, their wrinkly, leathery skin, just all over the fucking news. Not a 30-something to be seen, and then you got Harry, and if you do, they treat him like Harry Enton, like, oh, go sit at the kids' table, Harry. Did you bring your little iPad to show us what the polls are?
Everyone also knows that, unfortunately,
you got this cross-eyed jackass that's just like
for Donald Trump, the Pope is
just walk towards the light. Walk towards the light.
He's not a candidate for anything. He's the leader of the Holy Roman Catholic Church throughout the world. That's more than 1 billion people of faith.
Remember how millennials were treated?
And,
yeah.
The word that has not been.
Yeah, no, I do, because I'm a fucking millennial. And they, dude, they still condescend to me. I get called kid.
Dropped here.
I mean, okay, so my style might not fucking
today
help me with that one, but whatever.
The past couple of days, after we've talked about it, and Jonathan was talking about it earlier, these
are the assholes that told us that we can be anything, we can do anything. They gave us the trophies, and then we grew up, and we had pretty high expectations that are just like, who gave these kids trophies? Why'd you get participation trophies?
Spree of texts and
I have 20, motherfucker.
Social posts, Sunday morning,
actually 28,
13 or 14 of them.
I'm getting close to 30.
2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And the word that ought to be applied and thought about, I think, is stability. What is the President of the
Start your own YouTube channel and see how many you get.
United States' sense of stability?
Actually,
because we're talking about someone who has done some crazy things. And likening himself to Christ in that post that he put up and then withdrew.
Look at you, David.
And claiming, well, it's a doctor. I'm supposed to be a doctor.
You're a whole real person.
Just it's beyond absurd. and we have a war going on.
Actually, kind of, yeah, it's more pathetic that's like you even took the time instead of just going, nah.
Where it's going to end. And the word stability, I think, ought to be underlined each and every hour of the day in this presidency.
So J-Mart, you have, of course, Donald Trump, some of his strongest supporters obviously come from the evangelical community. I mean, he's president of the United States.
No armchair YouTubing.
Of white evangelicals. Also,
this guy looks like a drunk uncle.
Conservative Catholics also have been a bedrock of his support. And of the Republican Party support, going back to Ronald Reagan when working class Catholics first started voting Republican in 1980.
I think he's got a shit or something. He seems impatient, but like
in this case, though, it was a 1-2 punch. He
it's
attacks the
like,
Pope late in the evening, and then posts a picture of
Oh,
himself
can you
early
wrap
in
this
the
up?
morning as Jesus Christ.
he's either tanked or he's really got a shit.
And again, I will say, if you've ever stepped into an evangelical church, I'm sorry, nobody considers that a joke. Somebody putting themselves up as Jesus Christ. I can name 10 Bible verses.
We didn't give ourselves the trophies? Exactly.
No, that's crossing the line. That's crossing the line in a way you never do. So I'm curious your reaction when you saw that the night before he undermines his support among Catholics.
Hey, I'm a drunkle. I'm right there with you.
By
I'm just saying, this guy, he's peak drunkle. At least we keep it out like,
the Pope. And in the morning,
I don't think that my nephew can necessarily tell the difference.
And Catholics and any Christians depicting himself as Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's like he was planning on a third punch against maybe the LDS Church or like the third leg of his stool in the coalition. Yeah. Who else can I offend? My experience having done this now for over 10 years covering Trump, there's certain cues to look for when.
If he was an animal in a movie, he'd totally be a beaver.
The rationalizers, the apologists are really all out.
Like if this was Zootopia, beaver.
Of excuses.
He's a beaver.
Guys.
What's wrong with his face? I don't know. He's got a bad haircut and he looks like a beaver.
And the go-to when there's just nothing else to say. Because you can't defend the indefensible.
Either a beaver or a horse. You just start chucking carrots. It's just like, listen, it's like, why do you keep hitting me with carrots? It's like, it looks like your teeth need something to do.
He was just joking. I was just kidding. Well, I don't think he was joking about going negative on the Pope. And that's what he did.
It's very spooty.
He attacked the Cardinal of Rome, the Bishop of Rome, I should say.
He's got that bad haircut, too.
His crime policies? What does that even mean? The Swiss Guards?
Couldn't even go to a Fantastic Sam's.
So bizarre. But look, there's not much for his folks to say. If you're Vance, you don't want to have to go out and explain that at all. Because it's the most thankless assignment in the world. But it does go to the heart, Joe, as you mentioned, of his coalition eroding. Because, look, the dead enders out there are going to find a way to rationalize everything. He was joking around. You guys can't take a joke. He always punches back. That's another good chestnut is if you attack him, he will counterpunch. You always hear that one, too.
All that tacky-ass gold in this thing that he loves so much. I need that thing that I love so much, the golden wing. I need like 80 of them. I just need to put them everywhere that I see open space.
Otherwise, would never vote for a
What
Democrat.
up, Rebecca?
They don't want to vote for a Democrat. Just give them any reason to keep voting with the Republican line, and they'll take it. But they don't want to have to keep apologizing and defending and explaining this behavior because it's embarrassing to them and their families and their communities. They won't say it like that, Joe, but you and I know that is really the issue here. It's humiliating for his supporters.
Yeah, the behavior is embarrassing, and then President Trump's explanation is insulting Susan Page to the intelligence of anybody, including those who voted for him. And it's received widespread condemnation. The Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, who is usually a relatively favorable, Trump ally, she said that she found the President Trump's remarks about the Holy Father unacceptable. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, and it is right and proper that he call for peace and condemn all forms of war. And of course, the Vatican there in Italy's backyard. Susan, it's also striking to me that I think that the Pope strikes a particular nerve for President Trump. And we know he doesn't handle criticism well from anybody. But with the Pope, this Pope, an American Pope, I think for Trump, it's difficult for him to understand. Suddenly there's a counterweight out there. There's another American whose voice, far quieter than President Trump's, but carries just as much influence.
You know, two things have happened that we've never seen before. You know, presidents and popes have had their differences before over issues of war, over issues of abortion rights, but we've never had a president take on the pope in the kind of direct and very political way that President Trump did. And we've never had a pope punch back in such a direct way. The pope was clearly not cowed or really taken aback or intimidated by what Trump said. He came back and talked to reporters with cameras about his reaction to the president. And as you said, the fact that he's the first American pope, speaks English, talks directly to Americans in a way no previous pope has ever been able to do, that is an important thing to keep in mind when you think about the political consequences of what we've had now in this dispute.
I think his explanation, too, that this is me as a doctor, I make people better, is a political gift for Democrats. They can touch off that in a number of
Yeah, if they fucking choose to use it, if they choose to engage at all.
ways. Jonathan.
This idea that, like, yeah, I don't know, man. They've already been silent too long. Enough people are starting to even, like, I don't want to say forget, but, man.
And a telling
I really
sign
think
of
that they're
just
just
how
going to win by doing nothing.
far-reaching the criticism of
And
the
I kinda,
president
you
has
know what? If they bank on that and they lose, whatever.
become. My first two sources are talking about the idea of working
God, I wish I was Canadian.
together. Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene, I have to ask you if you believe that the president thought he was depicting himself as a doctor, not Jesus, in that post.
No, absolutely not. I thought that was blasphemy. As a Christian, I was very offended. And a doctor,
My patience is wearing
President
thin
Trump
with
is
the-
not a doctor. And that picture had him in a robe, as Jesus is often portrayed, with light coming out of his hands. And he talked about healing people like a Red Cross worker. I think there would be many people that would argue with that, you know, saving lives. So I think it was blasphemy. I was offended. I think he should apologize, not act defensive. And many Christians across America and the world were very offended by that.
And Congressman Khanna, when you look at this, that post came after the Pope had said that he wanted peace in Iran, peace in the world. The president obviously viewed that as criticism and said that he was weak on crime. Do you understand why the president is engaging in this attack on the Pope that he says he won't apologize for?
I find it sad. I mean, I respect Representative Greene as a person of Christian faith. We don't agree on a lot of issues. We don't agree on abortion rights. We may not agree on everything related to gun violence. But she cares about the dignity of human beings. That's why she has spoken out
Marjorie
against the
Taylor
president
Greene.
when he says, I want to wipe out Iranian civilization. That's what I'm concerned about more than a social media post. That's why we've spoken out for survivors. These aren't political issues. These are moral issues rooted in our Constitution, rooted in our faith traditions. And my concern with the president is he's not simply arguing ideology anymore. He's made this about a betrayal of fundamental values.
Yeah, that post last week got a lot more attention, where the president said a whole civilization will die tonight. And former Congresswoman Greene, you know, you posted about that after the president had made that threat. He went off on Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, several people who have been pretty big champions of his in the past. And he also went after you. You responded to that post about a whole civilization will die with, in all caps, 25th Amendment and 3 exclamation points. Do you really think that the president should be removed from office?
I think we have to truly question the mental stability of any president that threatens to wipe out an entire civilization of people. That would include all the innocent people in that country that have nothing to do with the war, especially after President Trump said this was about freeing the Iranian people from.
My biggest question is, would she actually have a problem with that if she was still in Congress and he didn't attack her personally? I think that she would be on the other side of this, just fucking running interference.
So for him to call to wipe out an entire civilization of people, it is absolutely wrong. But, you know, here I want to talk tonight about the reason why we're having this discussion is Ro Khanna and I both are willing to say that the current center of right and left that have been coming together for decades have failed Americans. And Ro and I, just like he said, we're completely different. I'm unapologetically pro-life. I'm against a trans agenda on children. I'm against the Green New Deal. I'm for very secure borders and a strong economy and a
Thank you for reminding us.
smaller government. But the current center, right and left that
Pep, did your vertical stream
coalition
crash?
in America
No, it didn't.
have got us in $40 trillion in debt,
it's
and
fine.
debt, have
Just
funded
read- I
foreign
don't
war
know.
after foreign war after foreign war, and now funding another one, and they will be, and we don't know how long this will
Did
go.
it?
And it's gotten to a point where Americans can't afford life, Caitlin. And so Roe
Either
and
that or they
I, we
removed it, 'cause
exchanged
as I said,
comments
they're
on
going after
social media
bandwidth
saying
right now,
that
so-
we recognize how for the
No.
left and the right to come together and find issues that we can work together on. But Roe and I did that on the Epstein files, and it was incredibly important. And there's also issues such as funding foreign governments that we share that in common. And we know this is that Americans are going in. So I think this is an important conversation worth having.
Well, and I just want to keep both of you on screen for a second because I think some people might be watching and have never seen the two of you do an interview together before. I'm not sure if
I don't think we have.
I'm not sure if the two of you have, but that kind of speaks to this moment, and which is why we wanted to have the two of you on together because I think you're right, Congresswoman, that the two of you have a lot of things that you still don't agree on, but there are these major issues from the Epstein files to this war in Iran and no end in sight right now. That the two of you do agree on. And so, Congressman Khanna, I think that is a question of what you think this could potentially look like, even if people are skeptical of it being realistic.
Well, first of all, more than the policies, I think it's the way Representative Green and I treat each other with respect, not looking at the worst possible thing either of us has said over the last 10 years and trying to sensationalize
There
it,
we are. You
but trying
keep
to actually have a
funny.
dialogue to understand where the other person is coming
Yep.
from, where we disagree, and where we could have more common ground. You know, most Americans want to do that with their families. They want to do that with their neighbors. They're tired of us being as divided and simply looking to score political points. And when you have those kind of conversations, you realize that when it comes to corruption in government and an Epstein class that abused young girls and doesn't have consequences, well, look, the right and the left can agree that we need to have one tier of justice. When it comes not to having these foreign wars that have spent billions of dollars that could be invested in jobs here in the community here, the right and left can agree that we shouldn't be in these foreign wars. We shouldn't be giving a blank check of aid to Israel, which has a $45 billion defense budget, and we should be investing here. Our vice president shouldn't be going and reporting to Netanyahu before he reports to the United States Congress. And the issue of the cost of living. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene has talked about how people don't have health care. Now, I'm for Medicare for all. She may have different ideas on that, but we both recognize that the system is broken. And in my view, unless we start to have these conversations in a civil, thoughtful way, we're not going to actually address the fundamental issue, which is the working class, and many people in the middle class have gotten shafted in America.
Congresswoman, what does that look like for you if, you know, you've talked a lot about what your
Natch, good night. I will catch you later, man.
your former constituents were feeling, you know, as gas prices were going.
Thank you for being here. And also, hope you enjoyed the Pepaganda and today's show.
As inflation was going up, they were still paying too much, you know, despite what the campaign promises from this administration
by the
were.
way.
I wonder what that potentially looks like for you in terms of addressing those still very real concerns from people if you're not in Congress. What would you say to that, to someone who says, well, she's not in Washington anymore? You know, what capacity does she have to directly address that?
I think I have the capacity to drive the conversation and the willingness to do so when there's very few people on the right willing to do that. I completely agree with Roe.
The thing is,
Americans are
everybody
really
hates
sick and
you
tired
now.
of the divide, and they're sick and tired of the political drama in their
this idea
lives.
that you
What they
somehow
expect of their
won,
elected leaders
like,
is to
with
make their
the,
lives easier,
America
to make their
First
lives
bullshit.
more affordable. And they really would like their government to come to a point where it's seen and not necessarily heard most of the time.
Okay.
And I think this is
need some
something
soup.
that I'm willing to involve myself in because I think the political pressure on the outside is actually becoming more powerful than the ability to get things accomplished on the inside. That's what I found firsthand. Many Americans today are getting to the point where they think both parties have fully failed them, Republicans and Democrats. And they're coming to a point where they're saying, do we need an independent party? Or is there even a candidate that can actually represent my interest? Because many, and it's about really the younger generations, not the older generations. We have real problems coming in the future, and it's the forward-thinking leaders that are going to be the problem solvers for that. Roe mentioned healthcare. It is a real problem. And Republicans refuse to face the issue. You know, they complain all the time about Obamacare, but they're unwilling to do anything to fix it. And I think there needs to be a real solution there. I'm not for Medicare for all, but I am for a strong solution that can help Americans. And I think that involves real work, and it can be hard work, not one that can be solved quickly with our conversation tonight. But it's also younger Americans where, say, parents and people that are married, they're both working and they're still struggling to get by. But we also have to look at Social Security, which is going to be bankrupt in 7 years, and the real problem, which is the devaluation of our dollar, which is affecting all of us, and the growing and never-ending debt that Americans find themselves falling into. So I really think this is something that America is craving, and I'm looking forward to more dialogue.
Soup? Hey. Bringing it back to soup. All right.
Nothing like.
I kind of watched like a few clips on Propaganda of this. Let's watch the whole thing.
Jesus Christ. In fact, Trump is not even a Christian. Trump is very clearly under demonic influence. I think Paula White probably put a spell on him of some sort. I mean, he is surrounded by, ironically, the very thing that he accuses me and Meghan and Tucker of being, because we're calling for peace.
It's not just that he's just a bad
calling for
person.
peace,
No,
and he's like, these people are nut jobs. And then he has
I used to like
people like
him,
Laura
and there's
Loomer, who
reasons that I'm
has
not
been
crazy.
forcibly placed on Site
I put
5150
egg in my
holds
ramen,
as
yeah.
his #1 advisor. She's like, I'm advising him. We got Paula White, who's telling him he's akin to Jesus Christ, which is absolutely blasphemous. And he
just
thinks
say he's
these
under a
people are
spell,
totally sane.
yes.
Again, very scary to be that far in the cave.
because she's trying
He
to.
is so
that's
in
her.
the cave.
That's
He
her out. Is just like I thought he was under a spell.
is so convinced of his own invincibility. It is complete.
All right, Steven, I will catch you later, man. Thank you for hanging today.
Completely unhinged that he was deeply upset by the Pope telling him the truth. The Catholic perspective is that this is an unjust war, because it is, obviously. Okay, you can't just decide that you want to take things from Iran, or rather not decide, but Bibi tells you you're going to take things from Iran, and then you just do it and you put American lives at risk. It's unjust. Even
It's so
honestly,
weird that
if
she
you
can actually
remove
like get to that.
Catholicism, it's just unjust in general.
be
It's
right,
morally
again,
contemptible
broken
what
clock.
you are doing in the Middle East. Okay, and forget the part that you went against every single one of your promises, betrayed your base, betrayed the people that were out there trying to get.
Hold on, guys. Having an internet issue.
Votes for.
Oh shit! Is that storm hitting me? Fuck. I just lost stream. All right, hold on. Oh shit! Yeah, I'm getting hit by this. Looks like. Give me a sec. Here it comes. Steven probably reported you. That wouldn't affect my my Twitch. No, I'm having problems with my internet because I have a storm coming, and every fucking time. I don't know why. Oh no, we're gonna lose Pep in the storm. I don't think so. What's that wave thing? Thank you for that. Sent party blowers. That was cool.
For you, betrayed the Charlie Kirk, you betrayed Megyn Kelly, you betrayed Tucker Carlson, you betrayed me.
Like I said, I've also been having this bandwidth problem.
I just so you know could not care less. I am very happy to die with my soul intact. And now you have him just swinging at the Pope.
Hey,
swinging at the Pope.
sending
This
fireworks. It's cool.
is what he said on X, and his excuse is amazing. He said Pope Leo is weak on crime. Like, this is not a tweet. We're not talking about Hillary Clinton. Okay, he's talking about the Pope. He's not running against the Pope. Pope Leo is
apparently
weak on crime, terrible for foreign policy. He talks about
honestly,
fear
dude. If I
of
was
the
a
Trump
liberal
administration, doesn't
Christian,
mention
this would be
the
it.
fear
I would fucking,
that the
I would lose
Catholic
my
Church
shit at
and
this.
all other Christian
The
organizations
fact that I'm
had
not a
during
Christian is
COVID.
kind of why
What?
I'm able to just
When they
watch
were
this
arresting
from like
priests, ministers,
just
and
kinda
everybody
be
else.
like,
Why would he
whatever.
talk about that?
You guys deal with this. Do you
That's
actually
not
care,
happening
though?
right now. What? He wants him to get into a time machine and talk about what's going on in 2021. Okay. He goes on. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him. Oh, okay. Because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon for the last 25 years, according to Bibi Netanyahu. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacks Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States, and even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers into our country. And I don't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States, because I'm doing exactly what I was elected in a landslide to do, setting record low numbers in crime
for the
and
$2
creating the
etch.
greatest stock
He is
market in
being very
history.
good right
Leo
now.
should be thankful, because as
I got
everyone
them gems
knows,
from YouTube.
he was
Have
a
them all.
shocking
Oh, thank you.
surprise. He was not on any list to be pope, and was only put there by the
they're
church
starting to
because
do
he was
that
an
now.
American, and they thought that that would be
Hey,
the
look, Twitch is
best
back.
way to deal with President Donald J.
That
Trump.
really
If
froze
I wasn't
right
in
as
the
I
White
said it.
House, Leo